Hello, this is what you say the name was? Daniel? Daniel. It was these guys potting or something. It was one of those names. But hello, my name is Jamin.
It,
This
yeah,
is
it's these guys got a podcast,
it was
or is
something
it?
simpler and cooler. Daniel said it,
Oh,
and I
oh,
didn't write it down. So
oh, wow. Okay, well,
it was just that.
yeah.
All right. It's too much pressure. Um, okay, well, hello. We review movies and TV shows and stuff that we watch. We have skill sets, so we trust us. My name is Jamin.
My name is Kevin.
And we are these guys on a podcast.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
we've seen movies. The most recent things I know I've seen was Chainsaw Man and I guess Tron Ares is depending who you are, what you are, you might find them interesting. Yeah, they did pretty good in as movies do. Um, a lot, a lot of I won't say shorter, but I think there's not a lot of movies like in that genre base of like action based things that are getting longer features anymore. So don't expect to be there. Like I think Tron was like two, maybe, barely that. Um, and Chainsaw was like an hour and 30 and change. Um, yeah, but I enjoyed them. They were good. What do you what do you guys think about the anything that stuck out to you movie wise? I try to ask Daniel, he has he seen anything that he enjoyed? He did not. So Kevin, you are next.
Right. Well, I will. Let's say I've seen a couple of movies. I'll start with him first. I won't go a whole lot of detail, but just I know that there was a lot of backlash with him. People not enjoying the film. It was, almost co-produced. I want to say. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was co-produced by Jordan Peele, Monkey Paw Productions. Um, so he didn't write it. That is not his film, but he did help with the production. And I thought the movie was okay. I got the symbolism, made it clear. It was good to see Marlon Wayans. I enjoy him. Any of the Wayans brothers doing anything, I'm always happy to watch and look. And again, I thought the movie was cool. It was cool. It was straightforward. The ending was very reminiscent of a Jordan Peele movie where it's like this. It's a not even really a big reveal, but it's like okay, you clearly it's everything's out on the table, and then the character has to make a decision, and then they do, and some wild stuff happens. So it kind of ended in that same way. So I thought that was okay. I did see um The Longest Walk. I know it's based off that Stephen King book.
I think
Okay.
so.
So yes. So I never read the book, never even heard about the book before, but I watched the movie, and yeah, it really is just a couple of guys who turn into friends as they're doing this walk. That's really it. I mean, the premise is very straightforward. What happens? But I enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed the movie. It's wild. The only thing I didn't understand was how they're sleeping. I don't, because there's no breaks. You are constantly walking, and I think the movie lasts about 4 days. 4 days of
Mm,
constant walking. So it's quite interesting indeed to go through that and what they give at the end, and at least what they claim to give, which I believe they probably do. Um, all for sustaining society that I guess came out of almost like this third world war, and that this is like a thing that they do to help people remember a time when we struggled and also not keep them complacent. And so it's like, hey, we do this thing, and that no one actually like it's supposed to be something you volunteer to do, but then as one of the main characters mentioned, when was the last time you heard anybody actually volunteering for this? So
Mm.
you know, some little mystery here and there about what's going on in the system, but that's not really the
mm.
main story. But I think it's a good watch. I recommend people to watch it.
Well, that
Um,
sounds similar to the what is it, that the damn Japanese movie, the high school thing where they started killing each other.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
because it
yeah.
was like that was a government randomized set of people.
What was it? Because it's the big old school movie. What is that called?
Damn, what
Battle
is it?
Royale.
Battle Royale.
Yeah, it's very, very similar to that kind of concept in sense. Yes. Um, yeah, but in this one, you don't really kill each other.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
kind of
Let the
walk
government do it for you.
until yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So once you slow down at a certain speed, because you're followed with like military guns and like military artillery like trucks. So you slow down, they warn you about 3 times. You do not pick up your pace. Pow! They shoot you. So right in the head. So you ain't got to worry about living through any of that. Well, one kid kind of messed up. He tried something. So yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I did watch that. I don't know. I feel like I've seen a couple of series here and there, but I will say on the docket of movies I do want to see. I want to see Good Boy, where it's like the horror film, but I think
With
it's
the
from a
dog.
dog's perspective or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, the
something.
main character's a
Oh
dog.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I
That's
do want to
interesting.
see that. Yeah. Um, I did see some of the older films. I think we talked about this last podcast, I believe, like Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Um, oh, I saw Thunderbolts just because I haven't seen it.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm behind on things. Hey, I'm behind on things. So I saw that. I was like, solid movie, solid. I was not. I was
Yeah.
okay. I was okay. So Sentry was interesting to see. Just don't know why he refuses to tap back into that power. I mean, I get it, but
He's
also it's like,
crazy.
yeah,
He's mentally
clearly,
disturbed.
clearly. But what I'm saying is that shouldn't have prevent. I mean, it's like because at the end it was like at least a year, some change had passed by. I'm like, you didn't
Uh-huh.
work on your mental health at all. Like you didn't want to. I don't know. I
That's
mean,
why.
you
That's why
could.
he's chilling in the
Working
chair.
on
That,
mental health. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
he's
why he's
chilling in the
not
chair.
century.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like I'm living a comfortable life. I've never had that
Right.
before. Let me stay
yeah,
comfortable.
Right.
as, soon,
yeah,
as
yeah.
soon as you disrupt the comfort, I'm gonna dye my hair and slick it back. And then if
Which
anyone hurts me, darkness. Just
right, which I
everyone
thought
in
was
darkness.
amazing. Like when I
Yeah,
saw that, I was
The
like, my
visuals of
goodness.
that was really
Especially
cool.
when he saved when the I don't know what he called him, the red something, red something.
the Red Guardian.
Comment
Yeah, Red
Guardian
Guardian
or something.
saved the
Yeah.
girl. And
Yeah.
then he's like, "Hey, you're okay." And then she just turned to dust. I was like, damn. Huh. And I was like,
Yeah.
that was cool. I enjoyed that part. I was like, oh my goodness.
And
Well,
I liked it because it was like fuck a Thanos snap. That was far more like just horrifying. Because
yeah,
like
But
that
yeah,
was
because
horrifying.
it
That was
was just
really
going to
cool.
keep going.
yeah, you just these blips of shadow dust
Yeah.
on the
Now
ground instantly.
I
Because it
thought, how
reminisced.
convenient that people can come back from that. Hmm.
Right,
Right.
that you're not just
Very
dead.
convenient.
Because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
because it gives the remnants of like what they did in nuclear testing, where the Flash was so
Yeah,
strong that it left a
that's what
shadow.
I
So I was like,
thought that was supposed
this
to be.
is
Yeah,
that was crazy.
right.
Uh, um,
But yeah,
speaking of that, speaking of Marvel, did you watch
no.
the
Someone
Marvel
told me
Zombie?
to. Someone told me it was really, really, really
Yeah,
good. I have
yeah,
not watched.
it was very enjoyable. People
Mm.
Mhm.
died. Just Just a way to kill characters. So I was like, I enjoy this on all
Yeah.
levels. But again, I'm the same person been told y'all to watch the Marvel universe animation things anyway. So
Well,
Yeah.
no
I've
one
never
listens
liked
to
the
me.
concept of the Marvel zombies. And it's like I've stayed away from the comics as well as like when they rebooted the comic for it because it was just a one shot little thing. It got really popular, and then they just kept adding, going, and double downing on the premise, and that always kind of just killed the appeal for me. But
Mhm.
mostly, it was like I'm not a zombie fan, let alone a big enough Marvel fan to care about the characters individually to see them in this scenario. So it was never going to be a thing that I was going to clock into. Also, at one point, they turned Spider-Man into a zombie, and I was like, "Well, show over." And I was like, nothing matters anymore. I was like, kill them all." I say, and I was like, "Just who cares?" And I was like, "That's like after
But I
all
think that
Peter
was
been
like
through."
kind of the point.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Um,
if Peter
yeah, it's
got
like
turned to a
you know
zombie,
yeah.
no, everyone
So
dies. I don't
I
care.
I yeah for sure it's kind of like a reboot type of deal. But I that was enjoyable. Like especially if you did watch the like I guess the third phase of Marvel stuff, the movie
Mm,
parts. That was the movies in the series when they was doing movies and series trying to match that up.
yeah.
Um, that was enjoyable. 'Cause I was like, oh, okay, good. They're trying to if they're trying to do something, I doubt they're trying to do something. I think it was just like I think that whole little series was just like a filler of like not filler as if like spacing, but filler as like I'm trying to fill you out and see if you're gonna like this
Um,
or if this goes or not. And
Mm,
and I appreciate that because that was it was a lot of just the whole their new animation Marvel part since they've been doing the Watcher series thing. Um he's been throwing like just concepts that there were some of them were in comics, some of them they just kind of made up. Um it was it's been enjoyable for me for someone who like actually enjoys like actual animations and stuff. But the concept is characters, not really like oh I didn't like how they did in the movies. Oh it's better than the comics. Blah blah blah. Like that's kind of a mute point. Sometimes it's like is it being done well here? And and I enjoyed those parts
okay.
of that, especially in that series. But you know it's but I like shorts and animations because it's like I did something. All right, it's over. Next episode, something's happened again. That was cool. All right, it's over. Next episode. Like I enjoy that. It's like okay, I see what you're. Like I didn't like that one that much. Oh, that was pretty cool. He should have did this in a regular series. Like that. Those concepts to me are cool to me. People who are like locked in the character base may not like it because they're like that never happened. It's like okay, you can you got to chill. They're not real.
I'll say what
So
when it comes to me in that, it's just that it is more so like the content itself, because it's not that it's oh this is like not a satisfied thing to happen with this character, but more so it's like all right, you're rehashing a story that already happened. I'd rather you do something new with all these characters, and then not only that, you're just focusing on the movie stuff. And it's like how great would it be to do some random shit with characters people don't even know about that might spark interest, and then like hey you make a movie about that character somewhere down the line or something. It's just that like the what if stuff is just that because it's like it's you need to really be appreciative of what Marvel is now to care about the what if stuff, because it's like all right, yeah, I like Marvel, so seeing different content, different stuff with these characters and whatnot would be interesting and entertaining. But like me, like I'm already kind of tapped out on stuff that Marvel does, and it's like I'm watching some of the movies, but not everything is worth something. So it it more so is like it. I get the appeal behind it, but it's like I wish they would do the animation thing with other shit, and it's like rather than just singly keep it to the what if stuff. And it's like, dude, make an animated series about somebody now, because you guys you showing that you got the gumption, but just put boots to asses and get it done. As I would like to see more of this stuff because you know that it's profitable because you're still making stuff, and it's like it's cool that they did the Marvel Zombies thing now. So it's like, yeah, all right, well, keep doing that with more things. It's just I just don't happen to like the Marvel Zombies, but it's like, yeah, no, hopefully they'll keep going down the right path and actually branch
yeah,
out and do
because
more stuff.
The zombies were one, and they did the Wakanda was another thing,
Right.
and the concept of that was cool. I was like, because I enjoyed the concept of like, oh no, we be out here in these streets, but because y'all be stealing stuff, so we go snatch it and maybe kill your family and go back home. And they'd be like, well, that's cool, that's
Yeah.
crazy, but that's that's cool. I don't know why you went so far back, and then it's like, no, actually one of us from the future and stuff like you whoa like bring so like I enjoyed that, like you just said, like I feel like they are like, oh, I think the What If series, there was enough people who liked it. It was like, all right, we were just doing little things about that, but now maybe we could focus on something. Okay, people like zombies, let's do that. I don't know why they didn't time it with Halloween. It's always weird to me when they do timing and stuff. It's like you were like a month early. Like what the hell was that
Right.
about?
Yeah.
So I was like, so but I didn't understand that part. But like the Wakanda thing, I think it was cool in concept, but we only know a couple characters, like
Yeah.
a Black Panther. It's
Yeah.
like you can't just throw like a secret organization in this secret country doing secret stuff, and
Stuff.
we'd be like, yeah, I fuck with that. I was like, I don't. It's cool because like that's cool. It makes the country more in depth, very Ambuwab root type of energy. I'm like, I appreciate that, but you got to let us have something here. And
Yeah.
how they was doing it, it was very much it was nobody to lock in on, like character wise, because they were doing different stuff. Like it was kind of like shorts in that sense,
Okay.
which is cool. But like a newer concept, I don't think you should, because like you could do what ifs because we all know who Storm is, who Thor is, who yeah, we all know who that. And if you don't, then I really don't care about you. That like all those stuff. So you could do a what if because you like the newest person you would know is the Watcher, and the Watcher explains himself all the time in each episode.
Yeah.
So even if you did not know who the Watcher was, you knew who he was from the What If series. But for this one, if you didn't know anything, it's kind of hard to be like, so if I watch, Black Panther, am I gonna know who these people are? Like, no.
Yeah.
so, it's very much like I it needed. I like the concept. I like the doing little random in this giant zeitgeist of like the Marvel world that you could just like, oh, let's do a series of this. Oh, let's do a series of that.
Mhm.
In these animations. But they just got to be careful of like what audience, because I feel like the less if you do it like this, like people who don't like zombies are not going to be into the Marvel zombies. So that whole concept they're probably not going to watch just purely because like I'm not really into zombies, even though it's zombie, but it's very not zombie. But it's
Mhm.
more witch control. It's
Yeah.
zombies, but also the witch took control of the zombie, so it's more witch control things. Um,
Right.
but then
Necromancy.
it's more necromancy. Well, it was necromancy of zombies because they were zombies originally.
Right. Mhm.
So it was like that's cool. But again, like if you're not into that, then you're not into that. And the Wakanda is like,
Yeah.
okay, I mean, that's too African for me, which is it's just true for people. I mean, it is. So like it's like, well, maybe you need to introduce like because they were spies. So like put in an American character and then be like, technically I'm a spy. Like do it that way and then stick with that character so we can care about them. And then you can go further like the next season. Like, okay, maybe you're not doing from his perspective. Maybe he's like his person he trained or his grandfather. Then you can go back and forth that way if you want to do different things in that universe. But like starting off, we don't know who any of these people are. So they spent like half the episode explaining who they are, which is kind of a waste of that episode. And then the next episode is something else. Then the next episode is something else. And it's like
Mm.
I am cool with like doing anthology stuff like that, but like in shorts, but it's difficult when it's all a new concept.
Mm.
Like the whole thing. So it's like that was I but visually and what they were doing, it's cool. It was
Mm.
spies. It was like, and I'm into spy stuff. Like so it's very cool. Like this didn't have to be Wakanda.
It
This
would
was
still
this
be
just
good.
would have been a good thing.
Yeah, go ahead, Daniel.
Yeah, go ahead. What you saying? Did we lose you? Hello.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What are you
we
saying?
heard you say
My
something,
my
and then
internet.
you just stopped.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, my OBS keeps crashing, so I have to had to get rid of it, and it's like
Ah,
messing up my internet for some reason. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to fix that later.
Mhm.
So we just
Yeah,
live.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah.
But I would say with the new thing, going back into what you're saying, like with the Wakanda show and what they're doing with Marvel, I think a testament of like why a lot of this stuff is kind of either going under the radar or just isn't that well received is because a lot of things they're trying to keep in tie with the movies rather than dealing with the comic book characters and what they have. And so it's like with the What If series. The What If series is built around the movies and the TV shows rather than just Marvel the brand. Because like there's a comic series called the What If series. And it's like that's what the show was based off of. But it's like, hey, and rather than doing these really popular what if stories from the What If series, you're doing what if stories from the movies. And it's like, okay, but that only appeals to people who are into the MCU. And a lot of people are kind of out of it since Endgame. So that's weird. And then, like you said, with the Wakanda thing, it's like you're dealing with something that you haven't even dove that deep into in the movies. And people only know Black Panther and Wakanda from those two movies. So you
right.
got a bunch of characters and situations and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, ain't no one gonna really jump onto this because Black Panther's over with. So it's like, it's like you're what you have is good, and it's like your mindset's in the right place, but it's like you're tackling stuff badly, and it's just poor direction because it's like again, like you were saying, it's like yeah, we could you could focus on a titular character and then build up the intrigue of Wakanda and all that it's doing, and then in itself, if it's just a great spy story and then you just throw on Wakanda on top of it, it's like yeah, that's a good start, but it's like again. I don't know enough about Wakanda to even be interested or enamored with half of the shit you got going on. So it's like it's a weird back and forth give and take with Marvel, but it seems to me like they just having a real an identity crisis right now because it's like they're about to do a fucking Avengers movie that's supposed to be a big deal and nobody cares. It's like no one's talking about it. It's not that big of a deal. And it's like they got Robert Downey Jr. to come back as playing Doctor Doom, and everyone's like, what what's gonna happen? What are you doing? It's like nothing's led into anything involving him. We haven't gotten any snippets of him being Doom except for that one little cut scene at the end of the Fantastic Four movie.
Fantastic Four. All
Yeah,
right.
but it's like nothing else has done anything to build up any intrigue. But you guys are the guys who had a 10-year long movie franchise that just shook the world. And it's like, well, we're coming into the final stages of our last thing. And it's like, well, badly, but everything you've done systematically up until this point has been handled badly. And so, like, there's really like a lot of the things you're doing is like, man, your heart's in the right place, but you need to pick better people to control this shit because it's not going to gain the appeal that you want. And it's like, again, it's like you having something like Wakanda with all this wonderful animation. It's like I can see someone in a suit going, "Well, people just don't like the show because they just don't like them blacks." And so
Right.
yeah, so it's like
Right.
let's just cut it. And it's like no one cares about Marvel right now. You got to make this more interesting. And it's like nah, I'm gonna just cut it. We're not gonna do this animation stuff anymore. It's just like
Right.
get rid of it. It grosses me out. I'm sick of it. And it's like that sucks, but it's like that can definitely happen because it's like just ah a suit.
Then we gotta wait until you get fired and hire
Yeah.
somebody else, and it's like this is getting ridiculous. It's like
Yeah.
and it's funny because like people are if you're not invested, if you've never invested money and effort into the arts, like you're that level of the level of fandom you are, it can only go it can go to heaven, past the stars, right? Like because it can go just being delirious in Delulu land, which is fine.
Mhm.
You know, that's what you're a fan of something BR. But it's like you don't know what to do with it. So a lot of times, like, they don't mind going to watch whatever the person tells you to do, but they rely sometimes on people who, like, oh, you know a little bit more about it, like blah blah blah, and it's just difficult to, like, suggest people to watch it. Or I hear reviewers that, like put it like this for Daniel, right? Like, we know him because we know him, right? We
Mhm.
listen to Daniel, and we listen to Daniel, but sometimes we do not listen to Daniel because of who know Daniel to be,
Right.
and that is okay because we have discernment, because we not only went to school for the art, so we're a little bit more in depth about understanding what the hell's going on. So, like,
Right.
when he explained things and why he doesn't like it in particular, it was like, okay, cool, I understand why you believe that, but I don't care about why you don't care about it. So I'm gonna go watch it, but we
Mm.
understand why he doesn't. So, like, oh, when that thing comes up, or like, oh, that trope comes up where he talks about he hates that part, like, oh, I don't really mind that, and we just move the fuck on. But for a regular person to like give him to Daniel was like a 10 top boss level. Like, you have to have like
Yeah.
a level 1 reviewer to talk to regular people sometimes,
Mm.
because they need to know what they're talking about, but like, to be like, oh, this is a good movie and bad movie, and they go like, oh, this is good or bad, then it'd be like, okay, cool. All I said that to say was, you have a lot of reviewers out here that maybe on a level 3, and they're just talking to regular people as if, like, they know what the fuck you're talking about. And it's like, oh, I give this movie a 2, just like Daniel was saying. It's like, oh, they do all but Africa stuff. Like, it's not relatable. And you're like, well, it's basically a spy movie.
Yeah.
Like you're
Yeah.
not explaining the basic parts because
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
so, oh, I believe da 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 da. It's like, when people, if you give a good review of, like, this was enjoyable, it kept my attention the whole way through, you go watch it and you like it for yourself, like, then you'll
Yeah.
get in
Very
this.
basic.
And we're more review based people now, like, just in as a society, period.
Yeah.
So, like, you get a bad review on something. What was that show? Oh, the Ironheart, right?
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
The whole series was a heist. They never explained this, like, this is a heist show.
Yeah.
But, like, the reviews you get were like reviews came out way before the series came out. Like, the first episode didn't come out, it's like, this shit is garbage. This fucking black he honky motherfucker, like it's like, he made this in a cave, and she had a whole garage. I couldn't figure this shit out. And it's like they did all of that, and people were like, well, yeah, that's kind of stupid. He did make this in a cave, and blah blah blah. I was like, you talking about that grown ass rich second descendant nigga?
Ah!
Of course he knew how to make things. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking
No,
about?
don't do that, Jamin.
And it's
Don't
like,
do that.
but that is very much true. That nigga
No,
was a fucking adult super entrepreneur who had all the skill sets because he did this shit before. He didn't just
with
go and came like, I've never
with
made a rocket
shrapnel
before. How the fuck
in
am I
his
figure
heart.
this out?
But again, shrapnel in his heart, and then he made a device that was a small version of a giant superconductor
Yeah,
in order to
no
keep
one's
himself
saying
alive.
Iron
Yeah.
Man wasn't smart. I am
Yeah,
saying
no,
that.
I'm not saying that he's not smart.
I am
I'm
that's
saying is
but
that
but that's what
the
I'm saying. Like, this
show,
was the relevance. This is the relevance of what they're talking about. It's like no one
but
even
that's
who I don't even care if, like, who's the smarter one between each other. She's the smartest person in the fucking room.
yeah,
You feel me?
and then
Like, amongst the
but that
people
was the
there, like,
issue.
and that was the problem. But that's what the reviews we were getting. We were getting
But
reviews
because that's what
as
the
if
show
we
did.
were competing against
I
they give, like,
see.
she's smarter than Iron Man, and Iron Man is smarter than Ironheart. It's like,
See, but again,
the
but it's like
show.
that
Can we
wasn't
not watch the show? So a
that
lot of the
wasn't a
reviews
question.
happened, but a lot of reviews happened about that and not about the show, because a lot of reviews came
But
out
the
before
show
the
did
show
that.
even happened.
That was the problem.
No,
The show did
I'm
that.
talking about the reviewers who I'm
No,
talking
no,
about
no,
from
no.
a
I'm saying
reviewing
the
stand.
show did that because in the show she said,
I am talking
I did
about
this
the
better than Ironheart."
reviewers for the show,
But
not
I'm saying the
people who are
reviewers
part of the
mentioned it.
show.
The reviewers mentioned it because in the show she mentions it. That's the problem.
No, no,
No,
no, no,
no,
no, no.
that's not what I'm saying though. I am saying, like, for people even to watch the show, right? The TV show was being reviewed, and those reviewers were talking about those detailed things that are comic based, high level details for an average person wouldn't even get. Even if someone explained that to them, they wouldn't have got. They would have enjoyed the show for a basic TV show that it was. But the people they were going to reviews for were going high intellectual comic on them, and that's what I'm saying. There were levels to it, and it's like it's because of the background information, because of the dense like information just Marvel in itself has. You get these reviewers who don't know how to review to regular people.
Well, I would say the argument
That's
to
what I
that
that's what
would
I'm
be,
saying.
I get what you're saying, but I was like, the argument to that is that look at the audience for a majority of those reviewers. A majority of them are dealing with people who are fascinated with comic books and know that detailed information. So at that point, a lot of them are even using those reviewers because of the fact that they happen to know way too much about these characters. The issue with Ironheart was that Ironheart was a bad show, but one of the things with it is that it's been held in production for over 3 years, and the script of the entire show got leaked like years ago before it even came out. So people who cared enough to be invested into the show looked into it because that's just what fucking nerds do on that crazy
Right.
ass profound level. And even then, it was like, all right, well, they're upset with the script, and it's like that script didn't change. So then when the show came out, they're upset with the show, and it's like, well, no shit. And what you have from that is that avalanche of essentially, well, yeah, like and coincide with what you're saying is like whether or not they're just going to review it on a base level. A lot of these people are just like you said, they're way too passionate about this shit, and then their level of reviewing is already in what they're going to be, and
Right.
they're not. And it's like it's an issue within the YouTube review community. No one tones down anything. I have a problem looking at people where like all right, they're super detailed about this show, or they go all in on Star Wars shit and they just like dismantle everything about it, but then they'll look at a movie or something else that came from someone else, and then it's like, oh, now they have a simple review. And it's like, how the fuck
Right.
you pick and choose what it is? It was like, okay, like, so it was okay that they did this, but because this happened in Star Wars, oh, it should die. It should burn in hell. How dare you? You did that to my Jedi. And it's like, wait a minute, you were fine with this happening on this show. And it's like this ridiculousness and non-consistency. I get that, but it's like there's no like I would say the biggest issue is not just them not being able to talk to people, but more so people not being able to have standards. It's like you now have an issue with not only the reviewers don't have standards, the audience don't have a standard. So, all right, I'm
Right.
going to you for reviews, but it's like yo ass flip flop on whatever the fuck you feel like it. So how can you sit there and go, all right, that's a trusted review source, let
And it's
alone
a hard to have standards when it's like, first of all, the movies are different.
right,
So that's one thing. So, but there's basics like, hey, did I like the sound quality? Did I have the lighting? Is the script, did they follow the purpose of the script? Like, hey,
right,
I'm going to an adventure to find the ball. Did they find the ball? Did they go on
yeah,
an adventure? Like basic things. But again, that's a big difference. We have YouTube reviewers and like actual people who do critic reviews. Because a
right,
lot of times, some of those critic reviews, not all of them, but some of the critic reviews actually went to school for writing, so they kind of understand like the basics of scripting and going from that perspective. Sometimes, so it's
I'm about to
like,
say, I think that is the issue, right? So, to your point, Jamin, those who are doing reviews on YouTube, right? It's just like it's like an average person who enjoys film to some degree. Maybe they know a little bit about film, but they just have a favorite
yeah,
franchise, and they're just talking about movies. But most people, outside of those who have gone to school professionally, either for film or for writing, they easily succumb to consumers' bias.
yeah,
So yeah, I'm going to talk about the movie or the franchise I had the most knowledge about, and I'll get into the details and here's the things I don't like. And then when they're trying to say, okay, well, I did go watch this movie and I liked it, now they have less to say. But again, to your point as well, Jamin, it's more like, well, now you've been less biased on this film that you don't know how to go into more detail about. And that's a more enjoyable review because now I'm not
right,
getting all this extra detail about stuff that maybe I don't even know about. And you're already changing my thought about something or conflating my thought about something I haven't even watched yet. because you haven't
Right.
presented it in the best light. But reviewers like I don't think outside of those who like write reviews, there's not too many pure reviewers. Like my objective
No.
is to be very biased, but not give you too much detail because I need to leave the curiosity about the movie for you to go see it and make your own judgment call. Now, what people doing reviews, I'm not gonna. It's not like a summary of a book. I'm trying to tell you the whole book, and so now it's like, well, by the
Right.
time I'm done listening to you talk for about 2 hours, I didn't heard the movie,
Movie, yeah.
and I kind of don't like it because of some of the points you said because you made it sound like that's a dumb point.
Yeah.
So
Because
you've
you
taken
and
away from
sometimes
the
you
viewership.
have a bias. You will always have a bias. That's just not
Yeah.
possible not to, right?
Mm.
So that's one thing. So you all just generally have a bias. Like so you will never have a pure reviewist that doesn't have a bias because you're a human being and you will have a bias. That's just you like things what you like, you don't like things what you don't like. And they might
Right.
have something be nonsensical or not. But a lot of times, the only reason I mentioned us in particular is because we could review and be like, I hate that, and we could talk about Demon Slayer, like I hate what they did, etc., in that movie, right? My review about will be visual and it will be about storytelling. It will be least about the actual characters and about their personal triumphs
Mhm.
because to me, like, well, you're in the movie, like you should be invested to the characters already. Like, I'm not here to give you that to be like, no, because he wanted to fight the guy. That's why he turned around and screamed his name. Like, I don't. It's not my business to tell you why you should like Tanjiro.
Mhm.
Like, whether I like Tanjiro or don't like Tanjiro is so irrelevant to the point of in my reviews because what I find interesting about things because I was taught animation. I,
Mhm.
I go through that lens of understanding the pipeline of animation through different countries, through how America does it, how Japan does it, how China gets outsourced to do it and now does it. Like I understand, like, oh, I can see your influence in here, here, and here. I see where they did the soundtrack to this, and like those are interesting to me. Thus, in my reviews, I'm going to talk about them. So it's
Mhm.
like how we talk about these things, and it's gonna be not as harsh because it's like I do I think Demon Slayer was a good movie? A movie? No. Was it like a high quality TV show that went on too long? Yes, but it was really good in that sense. But in that sense, like I'm going to talk about what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it. But but that's it. I'm not gonna be like, oh, it's dog shit because it's like that's not possible. You won't be able to get animation on a screen and it be dog shit. Visually, you're not able to do it. Maybe story time it won't be as in depth as you want it, but it's not possible to
Mhm.
get a film on in theaters that's like generally just like who made this bad. You just won't be able to do it. They don't have enough money. There's not enough nepotism in the world because animation costs a lot in time wise. It's
Yeah.
just not possible. But I understand like yeah, you don't get 15 takes to do this shot. They had to do storyboards and before they even start on animating this. I understand there was time and effort into this because I was trained to do this.
Right.
So like for that aspect, even in film, we had to learn aspects of filming and editing. So like I there is a level of like I understand what they did wrong here, and I can explain to you that I can understand what they were going for. It maybe didn't succeed, and I can explain to you that. Because a lot of times, like even when me and Daniel talk about Demon Slayer, it's like it's a money grab thing, and we could tell you it's a
Oh yeah,
money grab
clearly.
thing,
Mhm.
because of how they stretch the scenes out. We can literally tell you
Believe
that.
that.
Kevin been saying this forever because he's like, this is
Yeah.
a super short manga and they've
Yep.
been
Yeah.
stretching this bitch out for a long time. So it's like
Yep.
we can tell you that, and that has nothing to do with whether you believe it's good or not. We're actually telling you like this will probably be a good afternoon read, uh maybe 2 days for the whole series. Like if you just want to read the manga, it's probably just 2 days of just reading this thing. So it's not that dense for you to make a whole series with training arcs and all these things, but they're stretching it out. they're not really adding new content, but they're stretching it
Not
out
really.
just
Yeah, they're
for
stretching it. Yep.
to just make more money because they know how advertisers work and all the other things. So since we know about that, I can talk about like, oh, you didn't like that scene because it took 20 minutes when it only took 4 pages.
Right.
That's why you didn't like it. You didn't like it because it wasn't bad. It just
That's called
they
filler.
how they did it. You didn't like it. But for someone who doesn't know that, they can be like, I don't know what they were doing here. It just took forever. I fell asleep in it. It was a boring movie. And it's like, well, that might not be true. You know? So that's a difference in knowledge.
Well, hold
Yeah.
on. There, I will say is essentially uh what brings back to like what you were talking about in terms of the detailed reviewers and whatnot when they be talking about stuff like on Ironheart. Because again, Demon Slayer came out as a movie. So think about the concept of where you had normies go to that movie without any prior knowledge of what Demon Slayer is and decided to watch that shit. And then went
They
to a reviewer
ate
to see,
that
right?
They ate that
And
chunk up. It
it's
was
like,
like so they loved it. I mean, it was like I cried. It was like cried off what?
yeah.
Boredom? Like,
But and then it's like, isn't that crazy that essentially those detailed reviewers would then be those bastions of saviors that those people would have to explain to them what the fuck it is that they just looked at. So for like in terms like thinking like with what happened with Ironheart. And it's like to anyone who just got a Disney Plus subscription, saw Ironheart and only knows of Iron Man. Ironheart was essentially just it's like there's something they never seen before. Everything that was
right.
going to happen in it, everything that was going to take place, is like, all right, this is fucking crazy. But it's like to anyone who's essentially knowledgeable of the MCU up to this point and everything that's happening, the stuff that's being said in Ironheart is crazy. The quality of what happened in Ironheart is crazy, and it's like none of this stuff is on par with things they're used to. But it's like, all right, there's a difference between a new person looking at it and an experienced person looking at it. And then you
I
have these
agree.
reviewers, yeah, and it's like, and then you just have this issue of a flux of reviewers that is like you're combined with biasy as well as knowledge, and then just the patience to understand whether or not I'm gonna look through the lens of a new person trying to get indulged in this content or
Mm.
an experienced person indulged in this content. So you would have the issue of people being like, okay, they literally said in the show she made or she's doing better or she wants to be better than Tony Stark. Yet the concept of what she did with her suit and the concept of what he did with his suit are systematically different. And so someone who's been looking at the MCU from day one and is like, yeah, that's a point of reference to bring up as an argument because you're literally having a character make an Iron Man suit. But to someone who's never seen the first Iron Man, which would be a lot of fucking kids nowadays, and it's like, yeah, I have no idea what the hell they're talking about. So it's like she just saying she want to be better than Tony Stark. I'm only recognizing that's a dead guy now because there is no more Tony Stark. So
Right.
that's not even a reason to even have this conversation. But okay, I guess. But it's like even despite all of that, you have your series do this weird backflip of like, all right, are you trying to inspire a new audience or are you trying to get into the MCU market? Are you trying
Mm.
to appease these detailed fans or are you trying to get people who are new to this shit and just be interested in Ironheart? Because it
Mm.
ended with her doing a deal with Mephisto. And if you
Right.
don't know anything about comics, you have no fucking idea who that is.
Who the
So,
Mephisto is.
yeah,
Right.
there's like, so, but that's a character they've been hinting at for the longest within this new phase of the MCU. So again, it's like, all right, if I'm just getting into Ironheart, what the fuck just happened? And it's like, but if you're into the MCU, they never mention Mephisto in name. They've only had
No.
shit that dove with him in accordance to the comics. So then it's again,
Right.
you're still your mindset is, what the fuck did I just look at? And so then it's like, so the only people who can explain to you the importance of what you just saw would be people who know about the comics. And that in
Yeah.
itself,
Which
dealing with the
they
TV show is
necessarily,
crazy.
as we know the series is, they necessarily don't always do the same detailed thing. So it could
Exactly.
just
Yeah.
be Mephisto in name. So
Exactly.
like even going to them means maybe nothing.
Nothing, nothing. Is he even the devil? It's
Right,
just
that's
a
what I'm saying.
demon,
So
like
right.
what the
Is
fuck?
he
Yeah.
does he just know the demon and just took the
Right.
name? You know, like
Yeah.
you have no idea. So
He,
they can't really
he from
explain
another
things to you.
dimension. He just can bring
Right.
black bitches back to life. That's my only power. I bring dead
That's his
black women
only
back to
power.
life,
Right.
but only if they were shot by a cop.
Very particular, right, right.
Yeah.
Very, so to me in that sense, like it is a thing of knowledge, but it is a thing of like recognizing your audience as well. And I think that's the big thing with YouTube reviews is like, who are we talking to? Are you talking to people like me and you, then that type of review? Or are you talking to, like you said, average people? Like, even your quality of bad is not everybody's bad. Matter of fact, I can guarantee you to tell you now, it is not, it is not even our level of bad, is your bad.
Yeah.
Like a little thing can happen, and you now fuck that movie, fuck that franchise, it's trash, which is completely fine. But that's not even our level bad. So it's definitely not a normal person's bad. So like you again, and people aren't even on your skill level and of knowledge level. You
Yeah.
understand? Like they're not even at where you at, Daniel.
Yeah.
So now you're telling people who are like they might have been in detail of Marvel, but they have no idea about anything in anime, and they review a One Piece thing, and then it's like, oh, the series, the Netflix series is bad or good or indifferent to them or whatever, and it very much is like they're giving detailed information, and you're been like, well, that's not right, and it's
That's
but they're
exactly
giving
what fucking happened.
information. Right, but they're giving
Yeah.
information to people to like go watch it or not watch it. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, like just like you said earlier, these companies are like, yeah, we need that. We need you to be doing that. And it's like now you have a good and bad thing because you kind of have control over this audience, but you kind of don't because they can flip 100 180 on you. Just
Mhm.
in my personal opinion, just like the Star Wars series that came out. Um, the concept of first of all the what was the New Republic or the old, I forgot the name of it. I forgot the name of the series. Is either the Old Republic
Star
or
Wars?
You feel
yeah,
Star Wars?
yeah, Star Wars. I ain't saying that right. Star Wars, yeah.
Man, Star Wars. I didn't know there
What
was a new series out
Series,
for it.
yeah.
I
It's
mean
one
with the
yeah.
twins, the black
Acolyte.
people was in
Oh,
it. They was like
Acolyte.
the Acolyte, right, right,
Yeah.
right.
oh,
And the
yeah,
Acolyte was based in the like the Old Republic.
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, And this is so deep, crazy lore. It's dumb. Just to be clear, because not only are you going based off a video game that inspired comics, so like now we on some weird shit right now. So it's like it's very much like people didn't like because they just didn't like the main characters. This is one of those things that before it came out, it wasn't getting good press, and the press is some majority of those YouTubers. It wasn't even
Yeah.
real
Yeah.
press.
Right.
So now we're having an instance where it's like, I know you didn't play the game. I just know that for sure because it came out in like 2004, nigga. So I know you didn't play this game. So I know that for sure. And you might have read some of the comments that was inspired by it. And at this point, and also I don't even know where they're getting it from. So I don't know if it's a mix between. I don't know if they just made it up in the studio one day. I don't even know where the origin of where they're getting their script from necessarily. So now we're getting to the root of things, but then they act as if Star Wars was doing weird things. It was like, oh, witches. Okay, they had witches in there. I
Yeah.
definitely remember some witches in there. So now that was a weird thing people were flipping out about. And then it was like, oh no, twins. They did twins before, and it's like, yeah, it's a cycle. They do cycle stuff in Star Wars
Yeah.
all the time. Like I don't know why we're tripping about this. And it's like, no, that's not pressure, bro. Not my Anakin. It's like no one's. You got to calm down. So and then it's like you getting all these other stuff, and it's like, and then the season got canceled because of viewership and blah blah blah. But I
Which is
don't
bad.
know. I don't like stuff like that in the sense of like make what you need to make, and then if it's good, then it's good. But again, I'm not people with the money, So they're very much like season to season based
So
instead of just
but
like just do the thing, and if it's do it through your full vision, and if it's bad, it's bad. It's fine. But don't be like, I don't know. Let me do
see
first season
but
before I
this
really throw in information and see if we're
but I
gonna
would
get a
say
second
that
one.
is but that's a problem that you're always gonna be faced with, Jamin, is because like even like in terms of when you look at something as far as the quality of animation, you're able to break down animation. So even before you even give a damn about the story, you're all in for the animation. And as far as it like for what happening with the acolyte, there's like just on a standpoint of like, all right, a normie into the realm of Star Wars. It's like think of what the fuck that name brings. And it's like Star Wars is one of the biggest brands in the world. So
Yeah.
even doing any type of show behind it comes with that massive backpack of lore. No matter what you try to dive into.
Right.
So whether you think it's gonna be just on the baseline of okay, you still, and it's like, all right, I don't know what the fuck a lightsaber is, but you're gonna see one. And it's like, and and it's like, but the color of the lightsabers have meaning behind them. But you wouldn't know
Right.
that jumping into anything with Star Wars. But it's like that's a part of Star Wars. But
But
it's like
even if
that's
you
the
did, you don't know because in certain comics it's different.
yeah. But it's like,
So
but
that's a whole nother thing where it's like,
that's what Star
yes,
Wars made itself to be. So it's
Yeah.
like
right,
the fandom that it has and the content that it is that. So it's like to question, like to that in itself, and it's like, yeah, you already have a difficult task trying to jump into this if you know nothing, and then if you do no
yeah,
research, it
that's
makes
the
it even
truth.
worse. And
That
but it's
makes it
like
even
the
worse. Right,
same
right.
thing is like it's a different concept of fantasy where you compare it to like Lord of the Rings compare and then it's like you look at how Lord of the Rings is structured. A lot of shit in Lord of the Rings, you need to read other shit in order for that stuff to make sense.
For sure.
And it's like
And I
you
think
can't
that's one
just
of why that series really didn't pan out as they
yeah.
thought it was going to pan
Well,
out.
the Lord of the Rings
It's deep.
series was that was a bad idea because they only got permission for one book, but they're using another
Right.
book
And
to
it's like
make
in
it.
the
And it's like
middle of something.
right, and it's like it's
It's
bad
like,
idea to
okay.
even write it that way. And then they just started making up shit. And so it was like, yeah, you if you didn't have the rights, you could have just did a story. You have the rights too, but someone went
Yeah.
goofy. But the movies, and there's like you look at the movies, a lot of characters are name drop, a lot of situations and stuff is brought up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the only backstory you get in the Lord of the Rings movies is the first incident talking about how the dude lost the ring in the first place when he lost the battle. And it's like, all right, so these people existed like 100 years ago when this happened, and then the ring's just been gone. It's like, yep, okay. But then it's like, as shit happens, it's like, here's Gandalf. Who the fuck is that? Oh, this motherfucker been
Right.
alive for thousands of years. It's like, when? It's like, when was that going to
I
be
ain't never seen
exposed
him.
to talk about? And then he's like, all right, I need to go counsel with my master. Who's your master? Oh, so it's got a name
Right.
Sauron. I'm like, who the fuck is that? And it's like, I don't
Right.
know any of this shit. And it's like, oh, you didn't read The Hobbit? What is The Hobbit? And it's like, that's the book
Right.
before this book. What book? And it's like, oh, nigga. You didn't know Bilbo and Smeagol had a battle of wits with riddles? What the fuck are you talking about? And it's like,
What
I'm
are you
only
talking
looking at
about?
this one movie. But it's like all of this extra shit is necessary in order for you to think, in order for you to understand that Lord of the Rings is actually really well written. And it's like, but I'm only seeing this one movie and I'm confused as a motherfucker. But
Because a lot
that's
of
what
the
that
saying is like is gibberish to people,
right.
and
But
like
that's what that series is.
even if I go back and watch Lord of the Rings right now, they going to be saying stuff to this
Yeah.
day. I'm like, yeah, that's gibberish. I don't know what.
But then it's like, but look at that fantasy story compared to Harry Potter. Similar in terms of just wacky, weird fantasy shit, but Harry Potter was systematically designed to where the main character don't know shit. So in each
Yeah.
fucking movie, you're learning something new alongside him. So there's never an
Yeah.
instance where it's like,
Right.
okay, the shit that's happening is lore destroying unless you read this other Harry Potter book. There is no other Harry Potter book. You get it with him. He just found out the Philosopher's Stone. Guess what? Dumbledore's about to tell you what the fuck that is. And it's like, okay, well, the Sorcerer's Stone. And it's like, all right, cool. That's what it is. Hey, there's a prisoner escaped from Azkaban. What's Azkaban? Oh, Harry, you didn't know there's a prison full of people who essentially want to kill
Right.
you?
And that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
In some instances, that's what you're supposed to. You're supposed to have a naive character that
Yeah.
explains everything,
Yeah.
so the audience will be explained to. Yeah, that's what you're supposed to have.
Exposition.
Yeah.
Unless you start off from the beginning to everybody. So everybody is new
Right.
to everybody, or if it's
But
already established world, then you have to bring in some type of naivete, something. If you,
yeah.
you might not be the main character, but it has to be something where you can go, oh, you don't know what a plasma rifle is? Well, I can explain to you, you know. So
But now think of going back to Star Wars. Think of exactly what the very first Star Wars movies was. The very
right,
first Star Wars movie opens up with Darth
Luke was
Vader
the
attacking Leia.
naivete.
But
Yeah,
it's like it doesn't open up with Luke. It opens up with Darth Vader attacking Leia and Leia giving a hidden message away on these droids so Obi-Wan can get them. None of these
right.
niggas are people you know about.
Mhm.
Have
It's
no
like
idea.
you literally need to understand what happened to Anakin to turn to Darth Vader are 3 movies that's going to come up 10 years later. It's like that's an insane concept in terms of breaking down a fantasy story or anything like that. But but it's like going back to the reviewers and shit like that. That's a necessary thing to be that deep into that lore in order for that shit to make sense. So even going in, so it's like with the
But
Acolyte.
that's a great example of Star Wars examples. Like Vader was fine being evil Vader in the 3, 4, and 5,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
You really didn't need know anything other than Vader was evil. I
True.
believe if reviewers like had insight in trying to review those movies to people, they would not only would they spoil it, but they were and like say Star Wars was a book. They would
yeah,
be like, oh man, fuck Obi-Wan, he's a fuck up. And you're like,
yeah,
whoa. It's like I saw the fourth movie, he was a good guy. What do you mean? Like because that's how they talk. That's what I'm saying. That's how they talk. And they
yeah.
don't talk is like, no, go watch it. It's very in depth. You'll get it. Like yada yada yada. They got good character. They don't talk like that. They very much talk like, man, nah, because I don't know what they're doing, but like he's supposed to be way stronger than that. Like he's supposed to like control buildings and that. And you're like, wait, we didn't see Vader do anything crazy
Yeah,
in
no.
4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, no.
The craziest thing he did was pick up a nigga throwing lightning and throw him down a hole. Like that's the
I
craziest thing
mean,
we seen him do.
He choked a
Force choked a
motherfucker
dude from a
that was light
galaxy
years
away.
away.
I'm talking about
Yeah.
in comparison to what we now know of like
Oh
Vader
yeah,
in
yeah,
Star
Yeah,
for
Wars.
what
sure,
he
Like
can
for
do
sure.
with force. Yeah,
he didn't do any of that stuff, but
yeah,
he was capable. He was written to do so.
yeah.
Yeah,
So like we didn't know how he was injured and always in pain. Like we don't
Yeah.
know none of this
yeah,
stuff.
But
We
that
don't we
there
do know
lies
he's
the
fucked up
genius
because
behind what George Lucas did, because nothing in Star Wars at that point called for him to have his powers be used that way.
no, for
So it's
sure.
like, yeah,
He knew that, and like he knew like how he was writing it. Like he couldn't go to the first one because he knew he didn't have the budget and the money for it,
yeah,
and the world wasn't set up for. Like he literally said like, yeah, the CJ stuff, like the stuff that we wanted to do, we didn't know how to do it yet.
do it, yeah,
Like so like that's why he didn't just start from the fucking beginning. So he with writers, he had to write what he could write for the times, and he had to edit that to make it more so he can get money so they can like, oh, good guy, bad guy. He had to bare minimize it so he can really get funding for the film.
yeah,
That's the perfect example of like even like these stories, whether you are good or not or whatever. I think because we're not starting from the get go, like from Star Wars had good reviews because no one knew nothing about it. The Lord of the Rings had good reviews in the beginning in the first movie partially because of the time period. Like those people are part of the time period. We were heavily influenced by regular people. Like these were like newspaper articles that was hired by, and they were basically ads. To be very honest, this
mm,
isn't. You didn't get a real genuine nigga like, you know what? I like that movie. They're like, no, John, your job is to review fucking Star Wars and give it don't go crazy. And they were like, all right, I'm giving you some generic if it's good or not or whatever. It's like so like we didn't really have no really truly transparent, reviewers back then. So I think because of the times, but I'm like, if that was now with any even you could take Lord of the Rings. People, if it was reviewed now with the information they just had with the books, because people who back then who had the books, a lot of them did not really like the movie.
yeah.
yeah.
That's true.
We just didn't hear about these weird ass niggas. They were in crypts and caves, and like. But if they would have had a YouTube channel, people would have probably not have seen Lord of the Rings.
I doubt
And
that.
it's like,
I doubt that.
no,
Because no, because again,
I know a
because it
couple of
goes
them
back to
D&D
your
niggas. I
no,
know
no,
them
no.
for
But
sure.
I'm
Like,
talking about like going back to like what you said about the ads. Because because like what Lord of the Rings did in order to get made as a movie was basically never done. Because it wasn't that it was they made one movie, then the next year they made another movie, then they
no,
made another
yeah,
movie. He had to convince them, give me money to make all three fucking
all those
movies
movies, yeah.
because it's gonna take me a long fucking time. And even then, how he designed it was that what they see in theaters is not gonna be the complete movie. And then he kept releasing DVDs and VHS copies. I was like the extended cut. Because the very first movie in actual totality is like fucking three and a half
Yes.
hours. And it's like, but the movie in theaters was only an hour and 30 minutes long. And then he kept telling people while they were filming, he was like, yeah, we're about to do this scene. The guy was like, is this even going to be in the movie? He not in the theater version. I mean, what the fuck? And he was like, what does that mean? He
Right.
don't worry about it. The studio and me are about to milk these motherfuckers for everything they're worth. Don't worry about it. And it's like, you're going to do this scene. And it's like,
But
you're
that's to
going to
say
meet your dad.
we might have got a Lord of the Rings because they're not able to do things like that because they are so review based sensitive because they want to make sure they have a profit back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
And
know
honestly,
But
Lord of the
that
Rings was still
Lord of
like
the Rings
two
was long.
hours and 30 minutes.
Yeah. So it was like it was still
Yeah.
a big, but he's like
Because I
this.
remember my mom, which was wild. I remember my mom wanted to go to the movie to see that. I don't know how. I need to ask her like what made her want to see it. Clearly, someone has
The
said
books,
something. I don't know,
Well,
yeah, the
but
Lord of
books
the
were
Rings
popular.
was like
The
yes,
books
yeah,
were
the
popular.
books were way
yeah,
popular.
yeah. I just don't know my mom to be a reader of books, but I
Books, yeah.
mean, she might be. No,
I mean, it was their
well,
moment to be
well,
like,
saying.
hey, how do I get a
But
whole book in with just a couple of hours of viewing? There we go. And it was like
But,
Peter Jackson
there we
but the
presents
be.
Lord of
reason
the
why
Rings.
I even bring up the length of the movie because that was like the first time I've been to the movies. I was like, this is a long movie because I never
That
felt
was
that before. But I felt that watching the
oh
first Lord of the Rings movie. I was like, this is long.
Long, yeah. There's a
It
lot
was
too
like
much
2 hours and
talking.
30 minutes. Like it was because you think about it, back then we're talking about early 2000s.
Yeah,
Movies weren't really hitting the 2 hour mark like that.
yeah, no,
no,
That's a
Star
normal
Wars
thing
were
now
always
to do.
no. Star Wars was always 3 hours. The bitches were
Well, no, I'm
long.
talking about Lord of the
the
Rings.
first one.
I said Lord of the Rings.
I'm looking it up now, but yeah, the bitches were long.
Well, okay, but what I'm saying is, if you're talking about, I'm talking about the average movie goer is not always watching the big fantasy movies,
Yeah,
or like that's not even like the go. Like, a lot of times when people go to movies, it's action, it's comedy. You might get some sci-fi stuff here and there, but what I'm saying is that again, for me, that was my first time going to the movies or watching a fantasy movie like that. That was as long.
hmm
I've never watched a movie that long before at the movies.
yeah,
Whether it was a scary movie, action based, they were never hitting 2 hours. 2 hours is a nuanced thing that happened in the late 2000s period. Like
yeah,
people weren't going to movies for 2 plus hours. If it was 2 hours, you're like, yo, this is about to be a long movie.
yeah.
Nowadays, we're kind of hyped. Like if the movie almost reaches 3 hours, you're like, yo, this is about to be a good movie. You about to
Yeah,
give me 3 hours? So
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Because
yeah.
like, what is it? The
It
average
was
thing was
two
like
hours. It was 2 hours.
okay, and then like even then like what you're saying like the very first Star Wars movies like that felt those movies felt long. When I first watched them, I was like, damn, like wow, this is they just keep talking about prophecies. Yeah, it's like what? I don't get it. I don't understand what's happening. But even then, like it's like it's weird because it's like you can never get rid of that bias viewership mindset behind a lot of this shit because of the fact that
Yeah,
it's like what you said, Lord of the Rings, they were incredibly popular books. So people who are now hyping up the fact that they're making a movie based off of these books are doing that just because the quality of content back then. Hey, we're making a movie based off this book. Ooh, that means someone competent is gonna do some shit because otherwise they wouldn't agree to this. And it's like, yay, here we go. And it's like, here you go, Lord of the Rings movies by an actual Lord of the Rings super fan who now decided to do this movies as a passion project, and he spent years of his time, and they basically conquered New Zealand to do it. All right, we got something. That's a damn thing. Like that's a good damn thing. It's like, well now, and it's like, all right, we're gonna have a new Star Wars show created by the fucking assistant to Harvey Weinstein for some reason, and then also written on a brand new story that has nothing to do with anything else pre-existing with Star Wars, but kind of taking the whole prophecy from what happened in the original Star Wars, but that prophecy was set up to take place during that time in Star Wars. It doesn't matter. All you need to worry about is the fact that we're dealing with Force babies that are twins and they're just fighting with lightsabers. Who cares? The Asian dude from Squid Games is in here. He learned English for this. Aren't you happy? Aren't you
oh, I didn't know he
excited?
learned English.
Yeah, he learned English
Oh,
just through
wow,
that part. That was cool. Like I was like, that's a cool thing. And I was like, yeah,
that's a cool thing.
man, I was like, yeah, I was like, man, that Disney check must have been really big.
For
Yeah, I was
real.
like, oh, I'll learn a
And
whole
he did a good
language for that.
job.
Yeah, right. You want me to learn English for this? How much I'm getting? Whoo, that's a lot of zeros. All right, I got you. A-E-I-O-U. A-E-I-O-U. Stop with the K-pop. Bring in Janet Jackson and Beyonce. I'm gonna learn this English. I'm telling you, I'm gonna get it. And then and it's like you made the show and you systematically like did all this shit behind it. But then it's like, all right, but you're creating it during a time where people are dissatisfied with Star Wars content already. You've done had three movies people have not been happy with. It's made money,
That's true.
but people have not liked these movies. You've continuously promoted, showcased, and had this show being done at Star Wars press series and whatnot, not being going, hey, this is being created by a super fan that knows Star Wars and wants to continue what George Lucas started. No, you had a lady being like, we're tired of the misogyny in Star Wars, who gives a fuck if the first movies were about a father and a son reconnecting and saving the galaxy? Nah, this is girl power. It's like we literally gonna have them sing about lesbians just making horse babies because fuck you. It's like that's what I want. And it's like the core audience of people who would be interested in Star Wars would already be dissatisfied with that. Then you have the added people who essentially would hear what they're saying and just not like that concept of content. And then it's like, all right, you release it and you just have weird, goofy shit happening every once in a while. And there's nothing to follow because unless you're a super fan of Star Wars, you care about this content. Or if you're someone who's interested in what just the general idea was, what you're seeing is a clusterfuck because this is not what you presented. And all of that can be contributed to essentially, okay, this is why this has failed. While as when the early Star Wars shit happened, it succeeded. And it's like you look at the same thing with the Lord of the Rings show compared to the Lord of the Rings movies. And it's like, well, the show done by someone who doesn't care about the content of Lord of the Rings, people who got some of the rights together and made and put some of that information actually into this show. A lot of the characters and situations are just made up and done all in a goofy way. And it's like, and you release it after you promoted and presented it that this is going to star a girl who got girl power. And it's like that immediately dissatisfied with like a lot of people got dissatisfied with that and they just was turned away from it. And no one's learning the lesson that this isn't just a matter of people reviewing it or super fans talking about it or normies not even understanding just base level shit. You have a poison in the industry trickling down, and it'll keep doing that because no one is deciding to just get rid of the poison, where you're having a continuously bad optimization of, hey, we want these YouTube reviewers to review our content and we'll actually fly them out to look at these things firsthand and they talk about it. And it's like, well, these reviewers are known for essentially just hyping up and being excited about stuff. This in itself is a payday for them because how many views do you think they're going to get if they sit there and go, hey, we got flown out by James Gunn to go see Superman. How did you like Superman? I love Superman. It's the best Superman movie I've ever seen. Really? It's like out of all the Superman, this is the greatest. Did you not watch that movie? I did. And Man of Steel still trumps it in a lot of fronts. But it was okay, but it wasn't the best Superman movie I've ever seen. And hell, Superman's barely the star of the movie. But I get it. I get what you're saying, but I also get James Gunn, the director, is standing right fucking behind you. And you're a YouTuber. It was like, yeah, you're going to talk about how great this movie is. I would talk about how great this movie is because you get to go, hey, James Gunn, you mind standing in front of my camera phone real quick where I'll hit record and then live stream this? And it's like, oh, sure, no problem. Guess who got to talk with James Gunn, everybody? This guy. It's like, ain't I the shit? Look at my channel. It's like DC could fuck me for all I care because I just made bank. And then it's like, all right, the opposition of that. People who are heavily invested in DC Comics, people who are heavily invested in Superman, people who generally could sit there with James Gunn and talk about, hey, man, why would you have the Justice Society in there if you weren't going to have Superman, no Batman or Wonder Woman or anything like that? What was the decision behind that? And it's like, James Gunn don't want to answer that because James Gunn already said, I like the 80s Superman. Okay, there's more Superman comics, though. You know that, right? I don't care. I like 80s. It's like, that's all I give a fuck about. So that's all I'm going to talk about. And then everyone else who had a chance to interview him, talking to him, this was just so awe-inspiring. I cried. It was great. And it's like, dude, your main emotional comfort part in the movie was having Clark Kent's farm parent dad tell him that he loves him regardless. And I've never seen him in the movie before up until this point. Even in Man of Steel, at least the dad died in a tornado, but he was teaching him how to be a man. Yeah, that was dumb.
That was the dumbest death ever. No, like, so don't do it. Do it. Like, I can go so fast that people can't perceive me. I can't say you stupid idiot. But go on. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, but at least in that movie, we saw that dad be a dad to Clark throughout his childhood, dealing with his powers and his like what he didn't understand about himself. And it's like, you gotta hide it, man. And it's like, I'm sorry, like, yeah, you an alien. We didn't tell you. What? I'm a freak. And it's like, look, put on these glasses and just pretend. And it's like, try not to kill anybody, like, because we love you. And it's like, I love you so much, like, you don't understand. I gotta get the fuck away from your mom. So I'm gonna die in this tornado because I'm sick of it. I'm tired. I'm sick of
it. It's so funny.
I'm sick of it. It's like, fuck, the dog he saved isn't even the dog that she has at the end of the movie. And that's so sad. That's so sad. So that means the dog died. It's like the dog died and you died for the dog. Ain't that about a bitch? It's like, that's fucking terrible. But it's like that movie still had some type of emotional connection between Clark and his foster father on Earth, because it's like that's his dad that raised him. It's like, yeah, he knows
Right.
Jor-El and he cares about the history of Krypton, but he still got a dad. And it's like,
Yeah.
well, what James Gunn, what did you do with his dad? I mean, when he got really sad, he went home. And then the dad was like, "I love you." And he's like, "Oh, I'm fixed. My depression is cured." And it was like, I can save the day now. And it's like, wow, that's fucking weird. There was no emotional construct in this part of the movie, which again is something someone should have questioned James Gunn about, because it's like, nigga, did you not remember that you wrote Guardians of the Galaxy 3? Because Rocket Raccoon's backstory was badass. And it's like, that shit was awesome. Why couldn't you do that with Superman? I just like the 80s. It's bubbly. God damn it. It's like, this is not good. Someone should be,
And
we should be
again,
having this discussion.
that is something he might have said, but like, is that a real answer? Is that did producers have anything to do with it? This like
No.
that's what I'm saying. Like, how deep is that answer truly? And that's the thing about like movie production, where it's
Yeah.
like that might be an answer, but that's not. Is that because it could, if that's the full answer, sure, dude. Like, I was just like, that's kind of weird. Why you did these things? That's that. I mean, I'll be very honest. And it's not even like I didn't like. I'm not a fan of Superman, period. But
Neither am I.
I enjoy movies that, like, how are you gonna do this remake movie first thing over without doing another origin movie? Because I'm sick of it. You killed us with it. Like,
Yeah.
and I enjoyed that. And I enjoyed. Okay, we got into it. Bet, like, people know who Superman is. He's doing his thing. Okay, we did the Lois Lane thing because he's not a good partner at all. People don't talk about that. And like, I enjoyed that little dynamic they had. I enjoyed all of that stuff. And even though there's a lot of things that, like, there's really good nuggets in that movie, people love that movie, and I wouldn't love, that's kind of crazy. But the people love that movie, so like, it's a weird thing because like you said, the bias is never going to go away. As a reviewer, I don't know what the right thing to do, because, like I said, it depends on who I'm talking to. If I have the business to be around James Gunn or these famous people who are actually making these projects, am I going to just roast the shit out of them? No.
Yeah, no.
Because that's crazy. And I want to build relationships, and I know how money works. So I know I really can't. First of all, they give you rules and regulations, what you can and cannot say. You're just not going willy-nilly up there saying anything to these guys. So if I can't talk about like actual production or who y'all get this money from, or like, I want to talk about writing, I want to talk about visual effects, I want to be like, whatever, I want to talk about those things. So it really is dependent on that. So get like your honesty and like, oh, just say good things, and it's like, of course that's what you want. Like, no, but be honest. It's like, well, what the fuck does that mean? So it's like, I don't. So it's like, right. It's like, I want to come back. It's not even. It could be money, but it could be like, I want to come back. I don't want you to be like, no, it actually wasn't good. The third act made no sense. You had him do this, so he didn't help. So y'all couldn't save this one country. Like, Green Lantern got a core. If it was a real problem, like it could have been a whole thing. And it's like, oh yeah, that's kind of crazy. And they looking like, man, we got to cut all this. And then it's like, you're not coming back next time. You're not coming back. So it's like, so if that's when it becomes a business like that, which I'm fine with, because there's always a silver lining. Like, you have to find, like, be honest, but don't be crazy, because people don't like being embarrassed. There's always a silver lining. That's fine. I think that review is going to be on their channel. That's their business. I think if you come back to your channel, do what you need to do. You need to know who you're talking to. Like, I can have a review that's reviewed like 3 times. I could do a basic review. I could do a normal people review. I could do a review that's like, oh, these are review that if you've only read comics 16 to 14, with the version where Superman had the super suit and he was Mexican. If you only read those ones, that's who I'm talking to. Like, I can get really specific with you. Like, these are the audience I'm talking to. I'm not talking to nobody else. Don't even watch this review. It's like, and we're going to talk about like that that fourth scene when he did that thing with Lois and the what you call it? Like, you think he was abusive? Like we can have a conversation about that. And it's like, but that's just the knowledge. But people don't have that. Like, maybe I shouldn't say this, or maybe I should say this.
Oh, she was
They
the
just they
abuser, by
just
the
be
way.
like,
she was abusive. Lois Lane was she was very abusive and abrasive to him. I felt traumatized
being
for him.
abrasive is one thing.
No,
Like,
she was abusive.
it's a control thing. It's a
Yeah,
control thing.
she was
Yeah,
It's
very
not
definitely.
abusive.
abuse.
She was abusive. Having a
It's not
conversation with
abuse.
someone and then going, I told you that in private, and then you bring that up as a question to me when if you were questioning the persona, you wouldn't have known that information unless you priorly talked to me. That's abuse. That
That's
is especially if
It's a level
mentally
of abuse. I agree.
no,
It's a
if
level
you
of
yeah,
abuse.
and it's like especially if you
By
mentally
financial
know
abuse. It's
right.
not maybe physically harmful, but mentally it does something.
Right,
So
and it's like especially if you know mentally, I have issues with with that statement for real. But it's like my
yeah.
but
persona
again,
has never
like,
talked about it.
even this conversation, this is what I'm saying. Even this conversation, like, this would be really weird for a person who just wanted to go watch the movie. If
This is
they've
true.
never only seen if they've only seen Superman
Like, what do
in
you mean
TV
Superman's
shows,
being
like,
abused?
so it's like, so now it's like, do I not want to watch this movie? It's like, well, that review,
Yeah.
because I like his takes, but now he said something weird, and because you have a weird thing, it's like, you're just talking something in detail about something based on these characters that you know.
Yeah.
And a lot of times that's not well enough or too much for a basic person who's like, is this going to be a good movie? Like, am I going to have fun with this movie? There's fun scenes, but a lot of times this is very Superman. This is very not Superman. This is very
Yeah.
Lois. This is very not Lois. It's like those nuances. Like, I've watched TV shows. I've watched movies. I read some comics like of Superman. So like, I watched at least 7 different shows of Superman. So I can tell you about how showrunners write Superman, and I can show you how movie directors write Superman.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, and we can argue about that, but someone could come and say, "Well, I read 15 different comics of Superman," and they could tell me how he was written in the comics of Superman.
Yeah.
And it's like, they're different writers, there are different things. Like, so we're right and we're wrong, and it gets into a bottleneck of like, what are they doing? What are we talking about? Does it match up? Does it not match up? And there's right now people have experience. I think there's Lois and Clark,
Yeah, Lois and Clark was a show.
and then when Supergirl was out, I think those are adult audiences now that has experienced probably a TV show Superman and now this movie Superman. So it's like, I can understand those. If you're coming from the TV show and then coming from the movie, I can
Well, also
understand
people coming from Man of Steel and the Justice League movies.
Yeah.
Man of
It's
Steel.
like
But that's
because
a little
that
older. That's a little older. That
but
came out a while ago. So
Lois and
those aren't
Clark
the
was in
same.
the
See,
90s.
even then, those aren't the same. No.
Oh,
There's a newer
you're
show.
talking about the newer one. Okay,
Yeah,
you're
the
talking about
newer
the newer one.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But
like,
even
those
then
don't even aren't
still
the same audience. The Man of Steel audience is not even the same audience as now. That's what I'm saying.
but
Like,
it
the
would
most
be
recent things.
because we have
No,
the
age wise,
remake.
they're not.
No, not in the same. Okay, like
they're
you're talking about like a newer generation getting into
Right. I'm talking
Superman.
about, like,
Yeah.
if they're around like the early 20-year-olds, the Man of Steel audience isn't the same audience as this audience now.
Not in age,
They're
but
like
they're still around.
dramatically different in age. So
But
it's
they're
like,
still around.
and
So you have a new
they're not
audience.
dead.
No. But I'm saying like you have a newer audience experiencing a Superman movie for the first time, but you also have an older audience that have seen a Superman movie done in a particular way, and then you have a director
For
basically coming
sure.
off the
You have,
heels of that.
and that's another thing. So
But
now you have it.
I gotta depart. Gotta depart. But
Oh,
please
you
do
gotta go.
continue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta go.
All right.
All
But
right, man.
please, y'all do
No,
continue. Though.
but
Yeah.
for sure. So there is a difference between, do you need this? Okay.
Yeah.
So I but I do agree with those sentiments. Um it really, I just want to get to the baseline of like, I think because we have so much knowledge about certain subject matters, like,
Yeah.
it's hard to do newer things with those characters. Rather than Star Wars, Lord of Rings, any of that stuff that already got back lore, because
Mhm.
you have back lore and you're dibbling and dabbling in back lore and not like fully locked into that thing, you can pick and choose what you want to do, but that's going to upset those people who had those prior knowledge. And
Yeah.
instead of them just being like,
because they're fans.
They're
but
right,
that's like,
which
but
which
they're a
is which
fan.
is not a bad problem, but sometimes it's a problem when it comes to um allowing yourself to be like, is this good or not, just
See,
by
but that
itself.
but that but that in itself is a problem when it's like you're not even having people who essentially understand the context or like understand what it is that you're bringing, what you're making. So it's like, all right, yeah, you want to do another Star Wars story or another Lord of the Rings story or another Harry Potter
Hmm.
story. Cool, that's fine. No one's arguing that that's a bad thing. I want to make a new Superman movie. Okay, no one's saying that's a bad thing. Hey, the dude that you wanted to write for Superman, do you know anything about Superman? I hate that character. What the fuck are we doing?
Right.
Yeah, and it's like, what are you making right now then? And it's like, all right, you want to make a Star Wars story. Yes, the brand is still alive. The IP is very wealthy. I can milk this shit. Okay, do you know anything or like anything about Star Wars? I can't stand the patriarchy. This is not a good idea. This makes no sense. Why would you be in charge of this? It's like it's like we're
But
having.
again, like I do truly believe it's still quality over those base of things. Like I cannot like I don't like Superman in the sense of I don't like that he's always super good. So okay, when you do your character, you're gonna put a little focus on in depth of how he struggles internally.
Mhm.
Like, oh, like, yes, I could kill everybody here, but I try not to every day. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I've never heard him say something like that. That's interesting. It's like, and then would that rub somebody off? Because like, Superman would never. And it's like, well, you're a super being. You might think of that. Don't like, so it's and same thing with even the Patriot. Like, there's
Well,
Star
well,
Wars
well,
is so
well.
big. You can definitely do a complete world where there's nothing but women. Like there is no like, but
You
the quality
can
of like what story am I telling even in that, and
see
is
you
that any good?
see
And
and,
that's
and
what
that.
that's where I'm getting to, where it's get confusing with character when reviewers be like, you're not allowing those new people to gain those experiences by themselves.
Well, I would say like that's true, but the issue in itself lies in the fact where it's like, okay, if you are going to do the patriarchal story or you want Superman to be this nuanced character or anything like that, it's like you have every right to do that. As a creative, you can create something like that. You're not bound by Superman only being one way because we've seen him act different ways in different comics. We've seen this man
Right.
literally listen to the president in order to fight Batman of all people.
For
And
sure.
and
Right.
that, and that's so and it's like whether or not Batman was in the wrong or in the right, it didn't matter. Superman was just doing what the president asked. And
Right.
you have multiple Star Wars stories. You got the extended universe books, we got video games, we got a whole bunch of shit that adds to Star Wars lore that you can take from or you cannot take from, or you could just make up on the fly. There's literal races of people that basically were important towards the development of the Force that they haven't even touched on yet. But that's all. And it's like, hey, if you want someone to actually dive into that stuff and be interesting and make that a story that we can generate money from, because it's like, first things first, we want this to be profitable. We want people to
Right.
buy the shit because that's the whole point of the entertainment industry and capitalism. So that's how that works. And then it's like, but right after that, you need to make this thing something that people are willing to spend money on. But you're having people attach shit with politics, go at it with the mentality of I want to show this without understanding that, or people who just genuinely don't even like the artwork that they're working on in order to facilitate all of this stuff in the first place. So to like with the chick who ran Acolyte, it's like to put you in charge. There's nothing wrong with you directing people. There's nothing wrong with you writing a script. There's something wrong in the fact that you made a bad script and wrote bad characters involved in Star Wars that went against Star Wars lore, which should not have been the case, considering that this is the brand you guys own. That should be the first priority behind it in order to generate money, because that's the first thing all these turbo nerds that like this shit are gonna gravitate towards. And it's like with Lord of the Rings, and it's like, all right, if they don't talk about the rings, this is gonna be a problem. You need to have them talk about the rings at some point in time because it's
Mm.
about Lord of the Rings. And it's like, well, I don't want my story to ever talk about the rings. That's weird. That's very weird. You're dealing with Lord of the Rings. Like, it doesn't have to deal with Frodo, but at least something with the rings. I don't want to talk about the rings. Okay. I can't wait to see how you think you're gonna get people excited about this. It's like, but there you go. And it's like the same thing as like used to make a Harry Potter story. And it's like, all right, this is happening within the world of Harry Potter. Okay, you need to understand what it is that makes Harry Potter's world interesting and fascinating. And it's like, well, I'm just gonna do what happened in England with all these magic people running around, but it's gonna deal with a normal person. That's not Harry Potter's world. It's like that ain't got shit to do with anything. It's like, but it just takes place in Harry Potter. I just want to make my story revolve around a baker or something. And it's like, yeah, that's some random, weird, goofy shit that you want to do, but at the expense of you just making the story, you're tarnishing the brand of this IP, which holds no solace towards that mentality or that subject matter. So you have at your disposal the ability to create whatever you want, but you're not understanding that there are rules and regulations in order for that to make a profit, let alone just be to fit continuity wise. And it's like, this is what people want to see when they throw money at this shit. So have that first and foremost. Then you can add in whatever goofy shit you want. And so it was like, okay, I like, you want to do a patriarchal story of these women who don't really care for the Jedi Order. Fine. Dive deeper into that political statement. Well, we only got one flashback where we showcase from two different perspectives how they all died. That's not what I fucking said. It's like, that's not what we're advocating for. And it was like, you were just talking about a political thing, and then you immediately made this a tragic story. And it's like, that's not, those are conflicting viewpoints. And then you're using the tragic story in order to force the audience to feel a certain way about these people who died tragically.
Which you're
But
supposed to.
what you're supposed to, but if you're promoting and talking about your series like they did, and you're talking about how we're going to change up the front or the concept of the Jedi's just being all good, and then essentially not having other orders out there that disagreed with them back during the height of their power in the Republic, which is what they were going for when they were advocating Acolyte. There's like, all right, that would be an interesting concept, because in the Andor show, you tackled political components, whether it's from the
Yeah.
Empire and the Resistance. So it's like, all right, with Acolyte, do that, but towards the Jedi Order. So it's like, now, because that's what you advocated at first. And it's like, all right, yeah, there are other people who can use the Force, and these other people don't care for what the Jedi are saying. All right, that's an interesting show. Those other people were able to manifest children using the Force. That's an interesting concept. What are you going to bring to it? Oh, there's a weird revenge story. Everything is kind of all fucked up because people didn't get the right information about stuff. And that's it. You're only going to get a small flashback of these people disagreeing with the Jedis, and then the Jedis themselves just kind of being all right with them disagreeing. And that's the end of that conflict. But then those people lose their fucking mind, decide to try and kill the Jedi. And the Jedi were about to leave. But it's like this, all of that happens because you completely disregard whatever the fuck it is that you were attempting to do at first in order to make something that you thought was going to be okay. And then it just all was a giant clusterfuck. And so it's like, and in the writing process, and it was like, yeah, this is shit. The summary and the idea, and it's like, yeah, you might have something that might be interesting, but the actual execution behind it, and it's like, yeah, this is a weird fucking thing to do, especially within the realm of Star Wars, because it's nothing like what you promoted and advocated for in the first place. And you can clearly tell and see that. And it's like, I knew it was going to be something that was going to be woman focused and woman centric, because that's who the people were in charge of it. I get that. But what you released is not something where it's like, oh, even despite all of that, if it was something I didn't care for in the first place, this actually was an okay show. And it's like, and that to me, I believe, is like the biggest issue of the toxicity between like the reviewer shit and whatnot, because from what we've been talking about and everything,
And it wasn't even, I ain't gonna hold you, it wasn't even woman focused, but go ahead. which again, like we know, like, it's difficult for people to write women.
Right.
So like,
but
even
it's a woman writing women, which is even weirder.
Still, yeah. that doesn't stop it. That doesn't stop it, you know. So it so like and I really think like they kind of forget, like, in writing in general is just difficult. And like in my personal opinion, if you don't have a strong like viewpoint of what you're trying to do, then it gets lost in the weeds sometimes. I've never said like, oh, that show was perfect. That show deserved a fucking 3 seasons at least, for sure.
Hell no.
But I watched, no. Daniel,
no,
Daniel,
no.
Daniel, listen to me. No, I'm not. I watch. No, things get canceled all the time. Like,
yeah, and that's one.
I know for and I know for sure, like, from watching sci-fi shows, I know how these beats happen. So I know for sure it if it was if it would have been an amazing show, it would have went on for like I don't know. This modern day is kind of weird. Probably like until season 5, but it at least deserved the 3 seasons because how they were doing the beats. This
No.
new. I'm not even a fan of these new age TV series. Period. When they're locked into this like 8 9 episode and it's like a one topic thing. It's like we're going to get through this one thing, and it's like I don't like those longer beats. These hour-long shows where we don't get really deep information until the end of the series. I do not like that concept. I feel like they're wasting a lot of money and time and effort and momentum. That being said, I personally because again I watch too much TV. I personally just
There's no such thing as
believe
watching
they
too
were
much TV.
trying they were trying to go somewhere, and I enjoy the weirdness of the like you said the double perspective. Because they're dealing with twins. I enjoy if they would have just stayed in the little coven thing for the whole series and like really got the nuance of like what can they do, what their purpose is, what's their group in the galactic like lore of this thing, that would have been fine.
Yeah, but again, and
Like
it's like,
if it ended like if it the last episode ended like episode like if it had 8 episodes, episode 7 was that final reveal of that other perspective and the Jedi going and like they getting all doing all the dumb shit they were doing. Um, and then the next episode would have been like, oh, we're gonna switch up and hide and go somewhere else and be one of those a Jedi acolyte and you gonna be the other acolyte. That would have been a better show in my personal opinion. Um, because it was just focused. But when you start off a character, we're off the world. She don't know who she is. This, that, and the other. And then you she's the main character, but we're kind of focused on this other Jedi. What's going on with him? Like it's very much like pulling me from too many different perspectives. But again, for a
yeah.
first season sci-fi show, they kind of do that sometimes. They kind of want to like, oh, we got to explain to you the world building. Oh, here's the main character, like them, and it's like, oh, some cool wacky
See,
character,
but
and
that
it's like,
you cannot have that be the norm. You
but
can't like
in sci-fi
identify.
shows, that literally is the norm.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying is like
And you
that's what it is for sci-fi, and you're comfortable with that because you're used to it. But just because that's what it always happens doesn't mean that that's what's supposed to happen or that they have to do that every time. You're tackling with an IP
they
that
don't have
already
to.
has
There's
massive,
there's
crazy
been sci-fi
backstory and
shows
lore.
that like they'll focus on maybe just doing more detective things, and you'll see sci-fi like what I am saying like irregardless of how usually they do it, and sometimes that's kind of what makes or breaks a good or bad show is how they do it. They're doing
Yeah,
the same thing, but it's how they're doing it makes it like, oh, that was amazing. To this day, people don't like Jessica Jones. That shit was amazing.
yeah. I like the
People
first
today,
season was great.
and it was very much it was like it was subtle when it needed to be subtle, and then it wasn't when it wasn't.
Yeah.
And people don't like the show in the sense of like, is this a superhero? What the fuck is going on here? And it's like, and it's very much like I understand that. Like people like Iron Fist, that's
Well,
crazy, but they like
but
it,
it's like, but
you know.
but again, it's like you have to break down the fandom in order to understand it on that aspect. Because like to me, that was the more nuanced factor behind them. To where it's like, all right, with Jessica Jones, and it's like, okay, who is the audience? And it's like the target audience is people who like the MCU. The people who like the MCU were always hand fed all of the information behind these characters. So there is no depth or complexity with any of these characters because it's like, well, you got Daredevil, and it's like, well, Daredevil's still being a superhero, so he's doing superhero shit. You know who's the villain,
Yeah,
and you know who's the hero. And it's like with Jessica Jones, she's dealing with trauma, and she has powers, but it exists within the MCU world, and there's no movie explaining where the fuck she came from. So you literally
yeah,
have to sit here and watch and understand this character, not just be enamored by the action and everything going on. And so it was like, all right, towards natural MCU fans, going right over their fucking head. There's no way they're
right,
going to sit down and have the patience for that. And it's like, why do I care about the junkie that's down the hall? And it's like, well,
right,
because that's character development. He's going to be important later. What?
right,
He ain't got superpowers, don't care. And it's like, oh my God,
right.
why does she keep
And
dealing
you
with
were
her
sandwiched in
friend?
between 3 different shows:
Right.
Daredevil, Iron Fist, Luke
Punisher
Cage,
and
like
Punisher.
like and Punisher that were like, we're going to shoot things and things are going to blow up. And you're like, oh yeah. And it's like, you go to here, it's like, what is this chick doing? It's like, and it's like she's doing.
And it's like, well, she's a private eye. I don't care.
She's a private eye.
It's like, why is she able to throw people and she got super strong? Well, she's a superhero, but she failed.
Right.
That's the point. And it's like, so she has
what do you
power.
mean failed?
What do you mean
like,
failed?
Okay.
You can't fail. You can only be God.
You can only options you got.
Yeah.
Right.
Why is she trying to join the Avengers? And it's like, she doesn't want to. How come she got trauma? It was like her parents died in front of her. That's what all superheroes have is trauma, but she never got over it. And it's like, but I don't understand. What do you mean her friend manipulates her? Because her friend is weird. She's jealous of the power, so she's crazy. It's like this is all character development. You have to look at it and understand the characters. Why is David Tennant making
But again, like
themselves?
I can kind of understand like I didn't get into it because the pacing was different, and like just how they set up these series that you get. It's depending on what they're trying to accomplish. They're only going to give you a certain amount of information until it's like completely necessary. Especially in something like a Private Eye, you're getting more narrative story. You know, she's doing more monologues, and like they're doing things on purpose, literally. Because if you never watch a PI show, then of course you don't get it. You know, so I can understand like you said, this audience is maybe just not used to stuff like that. Like technically, that's what you should have been getting for Batman, but he blowing up and killing niggas, you know. So like I understand that you supposed to be getting certain, like there is no other major Private Eye in Marvel or DC that's super popular. Only one you really get it was super popular was like Rorschach from that's technically DC, kinda from the Watchers, right? So kinda, you know, and he was crazy. so you know, but like there is no other the Watchmen. There is no other story like that. So it was interesting. It was good.
But again,
I do just like different.
I'm saying like again, it was just being introduced to that audience that is just. I've only looked at Marvel shit and just have explosions and guys yelling.
For sure.
So it's like, okay, it's now toned down. We're doing something different, doing something new, but it's all still Marvel. And it's like, nah, I don't like change. Like, ew, give me another Avengers, quick. Palette cleanser. This is gross. It's like Jessica Jones had what, 3 seasons? 3 or 2? Yeah, 3. Yeah, 3 seasons.
She had the least. So like whatever everybody else had, she had all 3. I don't think that.
Luke Cage had 2 and Iron Fist only had 1.
This may be true. I don't know.
Yeah, because like she should have had 3. Because the second one was when
I know she had more than 1. I could tell you that for sure.
The second season was when her mom came back, and then the third season was when the friend got superpowers and she went crazy.
Was that not in the same season?
Nah, because the mom dies at the end of the second season. Spoilers for anybody watching. I don't care. You should have been watching Jessica Jones already.
Right. This is a while ago.
Anyway.
I mean, right, because it kind of exists now. Anyway. Like they're reintroducing stuff now, so I don't know what's going on. So
no, it didn't matter. Daredevil ain't Daredevil, so whatever.
Daredevil's not Daredevil.
It's like, did he fuck She-Hulk or not?
Or not?
What are you doing?
This is important. You know,
I'll give a damn how many Radiohead songs you play. It was awesome, but still, like, I don't give a fuck. Bullseye still around? Did he fuck She-Hulk? Did he wear yellow? And it's like your continuity is all over the place.
Right. It is funny because I don't know how to solve that problem because there's so many there's so many cool detailed things in comics. I want to see all of them, but all of the comics aren't in the same continuity. Yeah. So what am I supposed to do? And then you got to kill out a whole universe to do another one, and we're like, no, I mean I like that little bit, but I like this too. Like you don't have to.
I'm gonna take this bit, and this bit, and now he's just alive in our universe. How? What?
And then you confuse the shit out of them. They're mad as shit now. I was like, no, that was only in universe 43. I was like, but it was cool. He has a dragon pet. Let's keep that part. Like,
You cured Kingpin of his evil. Like you made him literally repent and become a good guy.
That was
And then
crazy.
you immediately
That was
start the
crazy.
series back. Right. And it was like he made him repent with the power of Native American magic. And then you decided to bring him back in this series, and then he became evil all over again. And
It
then
is so crazy because Echo was crazy, right? That's it. And I enjoyed it partially because like one of my family members dead, so that was pretty cool to actually see that like in like actual like a TV show. Like, oh shit, they're gonna have her be deaf for real. Like, it's like, cause I think the actor is deaf, so it's like I was like, that's fucking crazy. They gonna really do this shit, and which I didn't believe, but like they really gonna do this shit the whole series. I'm like, okay, and it was enjoyable for a horror part, but like of course Kingpin was the most popular character in that series, right?
Yeah.
So it was like that was cool. Oh, she got Native American stuff. We're doing it. Okay, we're doing Native American stuff. I'm with it, And then they mentioned this motherfucker at all never. I was like, God dang it. He went back and was like, yeah, I'm gonna take over the empire again. His wife was like, but I got it. It is completely unnecessary for you to do anything.
I don't have a criminal record. You could just be mayor, like it's
yeah,
fine.
he's like,
Nah,
I'm
baby.
be mayor. I'm gonna do both. I'm like,
You don't get it.
To.
I have to do this. I'm gonna systematically keep eating more and more unhealthy foods to show you that I'm back. It was like throughout the show because that's badass like storytelling.
Just
right there.
badass.
Yeah. I'm literally telling you one of the worst things anyone could possibly hear revolve around the cops. I want you to go out there without body cameras. And it's like, you what? I encourage it. Show the cop kill a guy, and he pulled his hood over his head, and he was like, now he a vigilante. And it's like, damn, ain't that some shit?
Right.
Yeah, and it was like, ooh, Kingpin back. And then it's like, what the wife gonna do? And it's like, bitch, I'm crazy. It's like, and I love her. Like he got back, and she was like, that's my man. That's who I married. I married this psychopath.
Right. And then it's like, oh, you kill Foggy. I'm like, well, that's crazy. And then people like, well, one comic version, he's not dead. He's just like in another town, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, cool. That's cool. And then the other chick, she's like, yeah, I'm going to California. I'm like,
New York is too real. It's like,
it's too real.
Yeah, and it's like, how many times did you almost die? It was like,
how many times did you almost die? Now you want to leave. It's like, I half expected you to become another vigilante because like your friend died, and then you're.
It was like you've known me and him for how long? And it was like when he dies, you immediately just fly off somewhere. Not comforting me at all, but we supposed to be cool. But then it's like,
not cool. We were supposed to be fucking.
Fucking, yeah.
What are you talking about? So it was very much like, I gotta go.
This gun shit is real.
And then be like, I gotta go, not because I'm so heartbroken. I gotta go because you didn't murder that nigga.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's mean.
Only reason I'm back because I saw in the news he was actually still alive. Ain't that some shit?
Right.
It's like, what?
Like, did you get him? Are you gonna get him? I'm like, you don't give a fuck about me or how I'm feeling, huh? And it's like, it is that odd.
And it's like, would you quit being Daredevil just to be with me? Why would I? It's like, what? Who the fuck are you? It's like, I've been doing Daredevil shit since before I met you. So like, you obviously have not been with me enough to think that our relationship is going to overturn my crazy ass vigilante trauma. And it's like that.
Right.
We only been fucking for like a good month, possibly half a year. Nah.
And then and then I stopped. I just genuinely stopped because I almost killed the guy because he almost killed my friend. And I was like, okay. And then you're like, because I stopped and didn't kill the guy, you're like, you know what? I gotta go. And it's like, wow. So did you like me or Daredevil? Like, what are we doing right now? And you're just like,
I got a headache.
And then it's so crazy. When you came back, you like, so Daredevil back, right? He's like, no. I was like, I just did that one thing for that one reason. You're like, I gotta go.
Yeah. It's like, leave me alone.
I gotta go. I was like, that's an awful. That's an awful friend. Yeah, she's a horrible person. It's like, and it just, and I again, do we like the show Daredevil? Of course. I
Yeah.
love the show Daredevil. Do I like where they're
But
going?
it
I don't
has
know where
its
they're
issues.
going.
Right? No one knows.
When you let me know, nigga. I am
Yeah.
lost. so
And it's
so
like
like,
just because they did some things in one comic or they did this in another comic and whatnot, and it's like you cannot hold that as a standard towards what the fuck the MCU is gonna do because we've
right,
just seen literally with this show, none of that matters. And it's like they
right,
had She-Hulk do a thing, and then it completely just was like, well, we're gonna make a Daredevil show. Don't worry about She-Hulk though. How can we not worry about She-Hulk? That's an actual character that exists in your world. She's literally
right.
Bruce Banner's cousin. You
Cousin,
literally show
right.
Bruce Banner's son
In
in
the
her
series.
show
Which
afterwards.
was insane
It's
because we
right.
don't mention it again, and it'd be like, you think we care that you make bad decisions? That's what I think
Right.
people these studios make. We know you're making bad decisions. Continue
Yeah.
because you did something cool one scene. Like just continue. Like you can't just like, no, we take it back. No, 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 no.
Yeah.
Don't take it back. Continue
There's,
because you
there's a
did a
line I
movie after
heard.
this, and we
There's
didn't mention the son or the cousin at all.
yeah.
And that pisses me off so much. And it pisses me off on a couple levels. One level, people don't like She-Hulk. Yeah, she did twerk with Megan Stein. Yeah. That's cool, whatever. It makes me upset because number one, the actor is amazing. She did Orphan Black. If you haven't seen that, it is phenomenal. She played like 8 characters. Um, but um, even in that, like you're doing little things of like, yeah, the lawyer, you're technically you don't even know it, but you're going in depth of how they're developing this world of like we've been in Marvel, but we've never seen them really at a court case before.
Yeah.
We don't know how this works. This works for real. Hold on for a second.
Mhm. Well, folks, you just got me here. Hopefully you all can still hear me. I have no idea how the stream is going. For anyone that's still engaged, you could definitely check out a lot of our these guys stuff. There should be a link in the description. I do not know. I'm not in charge of the stream stuff. I'll be doing the video stuff later. And right now I'm at a disadvantage because my OBS just was messing up. But definitely check out more of our these guys stuff. We got our carpet book out. We also have other content that people can look at. But yeah, just go on that. But back to the show now. But
Yeah, sorry, roommates.
uh-huh.
But yeah, so like, and it's just those little nuggets of like you're just making that world more richer.
Yeah.
If you just can be consistent and just like you can't take nothing back. That's how I feel like every writer that works on these big old projects, DC, Marvel, whatever they get approved of, it's written. It's a no take backsies. You should have
Yeah.
a no take backsies at the bottom of it, and then you have to go for it. You have
Yep.
no other choice. I don't care. We fire you, get another actor, get another director. There's no take backseat. So if you write a new script, if they give someone Blade and be like, this is what's been happening because there's no take backsies after you write this.
Right. Yeah.
It just and we can just move forward and things can be just done. So if you got to murder everybody, then those people, everybody was murdered.
Yeah.
No take backsies. We
Yeah.
now this film, we're like, wow, that whole universe got murdered. Well, this is Universe 7. We're doing something different because
That's fine. Yeah.
it's so. And I know the first time they messed up was like when they did the series Agents of Shield, because first 2 seasons it was connected to the movies,
Yep.
and then after the movie for Dark World,
I was gonna
they
say Winter
they
Soldier
kind of was like, yeah,
because
and it was
they
kind of
fucked
like
up because they did the Hydra betrayal. But it's like
right.
if you was watching the show, then it spoiled the movie, and if you watched the movie, then it spoiled the show. So it was like there was nothing you could do.
It was nothing you could do. So it was like it was very
sucks.
much like
Yeah.
we're kind of that's accurate, but it's not accurate. And then you're like, what are y'all doing? Y'all in the same studio? What are y'all doing?
And it was like a legitimate lead character became a Hydra agent, and it was like, oh
right.
shit! Like that's a crazy twist for the show. But thinking about it logically, leading up to this point, and it's like, nigga, you know how many times you helped Shield on a level where it was like, all right, if you were actually a Hydra agent, you probably wouldn't have helped them. Then you would have did something on the side to like kind of insinuate you were a Hydra agent or a double agent or something like that. And it's like, but then
they could have just added them that character doing stuff on the side. We just didn't know about it.
Nobody, yeah.
You know,
it's like,
and it's just it was very especially the main character like Coulson, that guy, he was supposed to be reintroduced into the film.
Yeah.
And he technically didn't. He did in Captain, was it Captain?
And the
Yeah,
Captain
Captain Marvel, the second one.
Yeah.
You know, and it just it's frustrating because it's like you had gold really, and like they was doing that's when they were doing what are those things called? They're not mutants. What are those things called?
Oh,
From the moon.
immortal. I mean, damn. What are they called? The
What
I'm about to say elementals. It's not even that. Fuck. Shit. What were they called? Because they Inhumans.
Inhumans.
Yeah.
Right. So that was supposed to be a thing.
Yeah.
And it translated, and then it was like, well, we only did that because we didn't have rights to mutants. But now we got rights to mutants, so we don't care about that no more. And it's like, what are you doing?
No takebacks. No takebacks.
No takebacks.
It's like
we would have had
to live on the moon. It was like, no, not anymore.
Oh my goodness.
It was like, they're just.
And it was so crazy. It was such bad decision making that they literally had a movie and downgraded and broke it up into a series. So like the first 2 episodes were in super high quality, and then the rest of the episodes was like just random. I'm like, you know how embarrassing this is? like, and it's such a debacle of what they do sometimes. It's like I don't know. I can't recommend things.
Right.
Because to be honest, the Inhuman show was a thing. Mm-hmm. The characters were pretty cool. Was the show good? I wouldn't say it was.
Right.
Would have been an okay movie? Maybe. Mm-hmm. I mean, I would give it a good maybe. It might have been. You know, I feel like if they went darker tone of a movie, it could have really been. Because it's very much Prince and betrayal and evil brother. Like you can do that. Like everybody understands that. They just got powers. So like it could have been a really good movie, but I don't know. We'll never know. So the world may never know. And I think that's a big problem. It's like all the way to the viewers getting upset, to production houses changing and switching up things, which messes up all of the things. Like every 4 or 5 years, people get fired and rehired. So now they want to change up stuff. Like all these changes make things so confusing, even though you want to link everything. You want to link everything, but then those links change. And it's like, no one told you to do this, first of all. No one forced you to be like superhero movies. They all got to be connected now. No one told you to do this. You did this. You made a decision. You could have stopped at any time. You could have made a movie like, this film is not connected to anything else. Start. And we just had to sit there and be like, well, okay. Yeah. You had no choice. And then at the end of the movie, you could have been like, there is no end credits, it's not anything, goodbye. And we would have got up from theaters and be like, well, damn.
If this does well, we might get a sequel. Like that's all.
Right, and that's it. That's it. Yes, we understand we did Blade. You're not going to see Dracula in here. You're not. It's not going to be catching anything. Yes, I understand the Marvel Dracula coming out next week. You will not see Blade in this. And just be fine. I'll be okay with that. There's no problem with that. But
we've had Batman movies that have not been connected to Batman movies that were legit sequels to said Batman movies. There's Batman Forever and Batman and Robin are sequels to the Michael Keaton Batmans, and they're not connected. There's but they want you to.
Wasn't it the same Robin? It was the same Robin, right?
It's the same Robin in Batman Forever and Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
But Batman Forever is supposed to be the sequel to Batman Returns when he's dealing with the Penguin and Catwoman. And it's like, nigga, Gotham looks different. It was like Gotham neon light and stuff, and it was like, and then you got Val Kilmer being Batman. And it's like, this is a sequel? Technically not a sequel. And the movie made bank. It's like, got stupid money. We got Two-Face and Jim Carrey. Who gives a fuck? You make money because I just wanted to make a Batman movie. Whether it was
because we care about they cared more about how the film was than the outside things. And it's like, and I think again, we was in that time period where studios did not go crazy with these outside forces. Now it's very much like they had money to blow. Now they're like we're penny pinching because we want more profit. Yeah. So we're not making the vibe has changed. So it's difficult for me to be like, yeah, the old movies were great, but there's reasons why.
Right.
Because if those old movies had the same like consequences of and people surrounded like now, they will suck. Matter of fact, I wouldn't even say they would suck. They would have never been released. Tim Burton, haha, you're fucking lying.
Get your weird goth ass out of here.
He would as soon as you would have had the third scene, they'd be like, oh no. And he'd be like, no, this is pretty good. And they're like, yeah, we're gonna go in a different direction. Like he would have never been anybody. Tim Burton is literally a product of his time. Right. And you can tell by his movies now.
Yeah.
Like Tim Burton hasn't changed.
Not at all.
And it's like, why is his movie different now?
Scorsese and like Leonardo DiCaprio's acting, Martin Scorsese directing, what's the guy who did Tenet in The Dark Knight? The director. He did Memento, all that stuff. It was like his directing style. It was like that never changed. It was like, but his movies have been critically acclaimed for being interesting. When he did the fucking Inception, when he did Inception, it was like, dude, using effects on this level is crazy. You have a hallway fight scene where the world is turning because in the world, the dream that they're in, a guy's flipping in a car. So the world's going upside down because they can't.
And the fact that you saw that stuff in some anime movie, like you got but even then, like I think how they marketed Tenet was bad.
Right.
I think the audience, I think the audience that they were going for was kind of weird. Like down to how they do trailers now, I think it's the worst disservice to movies. Because like they're like, hey, wait. I'm gonna tell you everything about this movie in 2 seconds, so you come watch it. It's like, then why am I going to watch it then? If you just told me, I'm just saying, I showed you all the cool scenes and all the things. I'm like, why'd you do that though? I don't understand why you did that. It's like because you'll like and watch it.
Scenes in the movie. This is all we got. This is all we got. But I always say Tenet had the biggest issue of essentially it came out during the height of COVID. Because it's not like with Godzilla versus Kong. Because Godzilla versus Kong came out the tail end of COVID, and then people were like, "Yo, this movie made like some crazy amount of millions." You can go back to the theaters now, but it's like Tenet came out when people were like, "If you go outside, I'll fucking kill you." Because I remember going to see it, and I was like, I had a mask on when I watched that movie. And I was like, "Damn, there's no one in this fucking theater. I'm taking this mask off."
Sure.
I was like, I like this movie. I like this movie. I enjoyed myself.
It wasn't a bad movie. Right. It really wasn't a bad movie.
That's his name.
Christopher Nolan. Yeah. Was it like changed my life? It wasn't.
No. Yeah.
It wasn't. But it wasn't.
Having a fight scene take place twice, but from different perspectives, is one of the coolest fucking things anyone has ever done. And it's like, you want to see this forwards and backwards? Give me a minute.
Yeah.
I got your ass. This is gonna be dope.
But I think it confused
Robert
people.
Pattinson. It was like,
but he's always been a good actor. It's confusing how people are confused. It's like you do realize he's not Edward in real life. You know, it's like you do realize people they don't come up set in freestyle. I really think people think like actors go to sets in freestyle. They just like, all right, so what's the character's name? All right, bet. Give me 30 minutes. I'm gonna knock out what he's gonna say. It's like, no, they have a whole list of written words that they have to say from writers, professional writers. What are you talking about?
Felt like him and Zac Efron. It was like Zac Efron was like, both of them are like, the things that got us started are bad. And it was like, they suck. And it was like, Zac Efron was like, High School Musical is bad. And it was like, I'll admit it. He was like, those are bad movies. And he was like, but I did it when I was younger. People like them and enjoy them, and that's cool.
Yeah, because they're Disney movies. So like,
right. But he's like, I'm not that character, though. I'm not stuck behind the Disney veil. I've done other shit. I've starred in movies that were in the theaters. So I can let High School Musical go, and that's fine.
And it's funny about him because that wrestling one he did, my girlfriend watched it. She's talking about she cried. Like she really loved that movie. I haven't watched it because I just haven't. It's wrestling, but like I don't mind watching it. I just like I haven't been pushed to be like, dang, this is a good bright day. I'm gonna watch this movie that all his brothers and siblings died in. I'm gonna go watch that. Then he get right because I watched the recent one with what was Dwayne when he played that the Brazilian fighter.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I watched that
The
one.
hard, what is it like, the hurt something? It's like hurt pain, something like that.
I feel like it
And
was
he's like,
something with the S,
I can't remember. But it's like I
but it
like
was
the fact that
interesting.
it's like you finally it's like Rock, you finally got out of that fucking shell of being the superhero in a bad popcorn film. And it's like you actually
Right.
tried to act. And it's like, and in
I
your
mean,
early career, you were
it's
doing
it's
that.
money,
Yeah, and it's like,
right?
but it's like you actually did like a biop of a character, and it's actually a deep dive into. You got the prosthetics on, you're built for the character, you're trained well. And it's like, yeah,
Right.
you actually suffering and going through traumatic shit, and it's like, and you're handling it very well. And it's like, dude, this is what your whole career could have been, because that's what the fuck Batista's doing. And it's like, and you could have been doing that, and then it was like,
Right.
hey,
Right.
you actually getting parts that are about your acting prowess rather than the fact that you just are the Rock.
Used to be
It's
The
like
Rock. Yeah.
I fit the bill of this big guy. Yeah. But can
Yeah.
you act? It's like
But
because
can you act,
Batista can
sir?
act. And it's like I love Batista in Doom. Like it's like for the short times they had him do shit
For
in the Doom
sure,
movies,
he did a
he was
great
great.
job.
He was great.
He did a great job.
And it's like I love when
So
he slammed that dude head in the console and he was like, find the rats. And the guy was like, sir, the Fremen, I said rats, find the rats. He's just breaking down because it's like I was like, where the fuck are they? It was like, these aren't people, they're rats to me. Find them so I can kill them. I was like, yo, Batista can fucking act. It was like,
yeah.
he doing it. But
Have you seen the documentary of Dune?
no.
Find that. It's amazing.
See, I don't because I know
I
what's
made
gonna happen.
I
was gonna say, like, I know about what happens in the rest of the series, and because of that, I was like, I'm good with what we got. I was like, I hope they don't go forward with anything else with Dune. I really don't, because Paul Atreides' story is really like it's great where it ends, because it's like everything else that happens afterwards is just a crazy ass clusterfuck, and
right.
I don't want to be invested in that. I was like, because I know I would be, but I don't want to be,
Right.
because I was like, it's a clusterfuck. I was like, shit just gets way out of hand. I was like, I'm good with Paul, because like that was my nigga. I loved everything he did in Dune 1 and Dune 2. And like one of my favorite things I even still do today is like I'll bring up his speech when he convinced the Fremen to join him, so he could just become straight up the leader. I love that fucking speech. And it was like, this dude had to learn a whole new fake language so he could yell at people in this fake language. And he did it well. And it's like, yo, Timothy Chalamet is a fantastic fucking actor. And he just in front of everybody, Madi. It's like, you cannot do this, Madi. I love that fucking scene.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, find that documentary. It's I want to say it's George Waki's Dune. It's fantastic. It's very much like it's something like you and I would do. And then we'll just be old niggas like it could have been great. So I know me and Kevin had watched it at one time because we was, I don't know, I think it was when Doom was announced it was coming out, we watched it because it was like, what is this about? But it was fantastic. That old nigga is fucking crazy, and I appreciate it. But yeah, it was just like somebody had the rights to Dune, and they tried to get it made, and this is like during like the early 70s and stuff. But yeah, he was fucking crazy. But yeah, like I think I think we're in an interesting time where I would suggest people just to watch movies regardless, because you don't know what you're getting. You might be getting a super detailed person telling you this is a good movie. Of course, ads are just ads, so you can't really trust them. And the movie could be genuinely not good, but you could like it though. People like, it's okay to like bad movies too. This concept of like, oh, if 4 people don't like the movie, the same movie I like, I must be wrong. If you like the movie, then you like the movie. It might be you might like dumb things, and that's okay too. Like that's okay. Saying like, I like that scene when they did that thing. I like that he had a suit I can clearly tell he's in a suit, monster
Yeah.
suit. That's fine. Like,
Right.
that's fine. I like werewolf things, and like, you can't tell me no difference.
Then, yeah.
You just can't tell me no
Yeah.
difference.
It doesn't
I
look
know
like a
what
real
I know
wolf.
what a
I don't
good
give a
werewolf.
fuck. Yeah.
Right. It's like, oh, that was CG. It looked like CG. You talking about the 3D character
3D?
of
Yeah.
a werewolf? Yes. Like, what are you talking about? And then it's like, oh, they made werewolves. People like them now. You talking about they give them character death and they're just not basic monsters? Yeah, that happens. And it's
Yeah.
like, I also just like regular monster werewolves too. Like,
Yeah.
but it's what are you talking about? It doesn't make that movie bad
Yeah.
because the werewolf didn't do anything but a killer monster. But it doesn't also make the movie bad because like, oh, she now she has feelings and she don't want to murder that person no more. Yeah, because they're saying the werewolf is still the person.
Person, yeah.
It's just
they
a
just
werewolf at the
they just
time.
got superpowers now. It's like
Right.
they're a
It's like I
superhero.
don't.
That's all. Yeah.
Right. They're forcing being a werewolf every once in a while. Like I don't. What are we doing right now? It just people get really weird. It's like I know I can't believe you like
It's
that.
like
It's like
hell, a
you
very
can't believe I like
popular
this.
and famous, a very popular and famous werewolf movie is a literal movie that's just describing a girl going through her period, or just essentially
For sure.
becoming a woman, and it is like she is losing distance with her sister because technically she's going through the change of womanhood as well as becoming a fucking werewolf, and it's a great movie with great effects and everything. It's like Ginger Snaps is really good. It's like it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like it's really good.
I like the
It's like
movie Curse. That was a
yeah,
good movie
I
too.
love Curse. I love Curse. That's one of my
Because
favorite
when he was
werewolves.
talking shit about that werewolf and like, oh, her bad hair, it's like, fuck you, bitch. Like she was full werewolf.
And I'm giving her the finger. And it's like there's
So
cops everywhere, guns in hand. And it's like, but I can't take
I can't take you talking
that.
shit.
How
I
dare you
can't.
say that?
How dare you?
She was like with bad hair and fat thighs. And just
Right.
wheeled her ass with bullets.
And we got to see a dog werewolf. That was cool. So,
it was like
so
everyone's motivation in that movie was insanely stupid and
it's
completely personal. And it was like, I
super
wanted to
personal.
kill you because that guy wanted to turn you into a wolf because he liked you. So he wanted to make
Right.
you a wolf so he could have a pack with you. And it was like, so I was just gonna straight up kill you, but I wound up turning you also and your brother. And it was like, and then he's like, hey, it's okay. I turned her by accident because we had sex and there was biting involved. Don't worry about that though, because she's dead. But now I gotta kill your brother because there can't be more than one alpha. This is what the fuck are you talking about?
Right.
And it was like, no, I have to do this. And it was like, these are the laws of the jungle, bitch.
These are the laws.
And it's like, obviously, you can get to the point where you can literally turn to a werewolf and control the shit. Why are you tripping this hard? And it was like, nah, I can only be the one guy. And it was like, I can't be
Right.
more than one guy. I'm not fucking my brother, dude. And it was like, what is wrong with you? And it was like, you just don't get it.
And it is movies that there's movies that I want to be made. Like I would love a Highlander movie. That'd be great. Like I was one of the people who watched the series
Well,
and the movies.
they're supposedly remaking it.
It's always
Yeah.
supposedly like
Right.
I'm not gonna trust it until I see the motherfucking theaters. Like until
it's like I don't know who could really do like
who's McLeod
who could act better than Christopher Lambert. And it was like it was one of those things. Was like, nigga, you was perfect. Like everything for that movie was perfect. The villain was a perfect size, perfect concept. Like the dude was pale as shit. And then it's like he got taught by fucking Sean Connery. And it's like, what actors exist now that would have that standpoint of like, all right, you're a physical, demanding presence of a villain, as well as someone who's able to get on screen and look as if they could whoop everyone ass in the room, but they calm as fuck, like Christopher Lambert. And it's like Christopher Lambert was never a character you looked at and was like, oh yeah, I can fight him. And it's like no, the dude has a presence where it's like, yeah, he got a gun or something. And it's like that guy it was like
I feel like he got a big old rock in his pocket or something.
Yeah. He's
gonna clubber you to death.
Got away with it, and I don't want to know how. It's like let's leave him alone. And then it's like, and then to have someone that could just act in a great range like Sean Connery to play like an eccentric teacher. To where it's like, yo, this is a great actor that got another demanding presence that I could see being a mentor. And then at the same time, it's gone and I'm cool with it because he's great. And it's like, who do you have as actors that are able to do that, that can command that presence of a screen? And it's like, I'm pretty sure you could try to find someone and they might be able to do well. But we are now having a very, very small group of people that are capable of actually acting just as well as we have
Yeah,
a small group of people that are able to actually write a fucking script or keep
that
continuity
part
to a
too.
story. So it's like, all right, you want to make another Highlander. I get it. The IP is alive. You want to do something. Is anyone who's gonna write this know what the fuck Highlander is, or has seen the
Yeah,
movies or the
like
show?
been alive. Like those
Right?
are old films.
Like, do you
Like
know about any of this stuff? And it's like, I have no idea what this is. It just told me he can't die, but you gotta cut off the heads with a sword. Fuck, you're gonna
right,
fuck this up. You're gonna fuck it up. It's like, trust me,
you
you're
gotta
gonna
fuck
fuck it
this
up.
up.
They go out. Like, I can't even trust you to watch it and pay attention. Like, I need someone
Ah,
else. Like, you're fired.
but
I
that's
need someone else.
it is funny because I remember growing up, I used to hear about like directors. This is back in the getting DVDs and watching commentary days.
Yeah,
Like I remember directors going be like, yeah, they gave me a whole bunch of this or this TV show or this all these comics or all this stuff. Like they gave me a whole bunch of stuff to know where this character is. Like you
yeah.
don't hear about that a lot anymore. And it's like I really do I need a no take backseat clause on scripts, and I need a you have to read or watch more than 30 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
Because especially so with TV shows, like Highlight has a TV show, I I don't expect you to watch all of it, but at least 30 hours,
Yeah. And
and
it's like,
the movies.
look at the
So
shit
that's
that
like
gets made
it's
now
like
that's
15
like based off
episodes in
of
the movie.
yeah, there's like, but like, look at the stuff that gets made now that's based off of already existing properties, and then it's like how that got created. Because I say like one of the best things is like, all right, like when you talk about Lord of the Rings, because it's like Peter Jackson was a huge Lord of the Rings fan, and then
Mm,
even when it was the stuff that he cut out of the movies, he had an explanation for it. Because I didn't know, like after they come back to the Shire at the end of Lord of the Rings, they're supposed to have like a whole other thing happen. Because they were like, yeah, most of the hobbits actually got captured, and then Frodo and his friends had to go save them. Yeah, and so then people were
mm,
that's there's more to the end of Lord of the Rings after they destroy the ring. And he was like, I know, but as a movie, that's anticlimactic. Like, how the fuck am I
yeah,
going, like, all right, they did the big bad and everything's over with. And it's like, now there's still more. The movie's over with. And he was like, yeah, so I
right.
just,
The
that's
movie's
the
over
beginning of
with.
the movie. And then even talking to the guy that played Sauron, the Gandalf's teacher, because he
Uh
actually
huh.
knew Tolkien in real life. And it's like, that's fucking awesome. And so he was like, yeah, no, I understand that. And he's like, when I talked to Peter Jackson about it, and he was like, I totally understand that, because it's like, yeah, movies and books are totally different things. And he was like, so I feel for the people who read the books, because he was like, I love the books. He's like, but as a movie standpoint, there are certain things that you need, certain things you don't need, and certain things it's okay to cut. And he was like, was the movie still enjoyable? And he was like, and people who enjoyed the books, did you still get that same feeling of emotional connection to the characters that you got in from the books? And he was like, if he did that well, then he did his job. And then it's like, all right, for another standpoint, take something like Harry Potter. The director of the first two Harry Potter films was like, I don't get this shit.
Yeah.
So he was like, you know who needs to be here with me while I'm making this shit I don't get is the bitch who wrote the fucking books. So it's like,
Right.
okay, how did you see this happening? Because I read it and I don't understand it. Oh, the candles need to float in air. Shit. Okay, I got something. It's like, I can make up something. And it's like, the fuck you mean he was drinking unicorn blood? I imagine some metallic shit coming out of him as blood. Got you. We gonna put mercury on this dead horse, and we about to sell this shit. It's like, I'm telling you, girl, we got it. And it's like, yeah.
I think. Oh,
Uh, and it's like obviously
but
you have
I
people
do
who,
think the origin of things, like you said, like there gotta be some links. You cannot
yeah,
just do things. Even if you switch some stuff up, you can't just do it not knowing where it came from or not respecting where it came from.
true,
And that's what we're missing a lot of times.
yeah,
And but yeah, I'll just tell people watch movies, man, because you don't know where you're getting this stuff from. And yeah, you might watch bad movies. I remember that was a thing. I remember like yeah, you watch 3 movies in a month. Two of them might be bad.
yeah,
Two of them might be really dumb, and it's okay. We moved on. It
oh
wasn't the end
yeah,
of the world, Like we just moved on, and it's like just watch the thing. If you think it's interesting to you, just watch the thing. That's
yeah.
okay.
It
Um,
was like, fuck,
but
you can
yeah,
see a good actor in a movie and then be like, this whole movie was ass, but they acted very well.
for
And it's
sure.
like, that's
Like
fine. And
matter of
it's like,
fact,
that's fine.
but Hista and the I don't know her name. I don't know her name. It's like it's Ukrainian. Uh She was Resident Evil girl.
Oh, that movie that was done
Yeah,
that Stephen King thing. I think it was Stephen King.
yeah.
Or
Of
it was
course,
one of
I
his
watched
guys.
it.
Yeah,
I watched it because
someone re-
they
I can't remember.
they
I know it was like someone who
they
wrote
had
it.
it was like this apocalyptic movie.
Yeah.
That was the color tones of it was like crazy bad. But they was some it was a werewolf story. And I was like, well, you got me,
Yeah.
So like,
now I gotta watch it. Yeah.
now I have to, even though it was kind of Jekyll Hyde-ish werewolf story type of deal. But it was very much like that was the least of your worries. In that movie, there was so much other stuff happening, and then because like she was a super witch that granted wishes, it was like what? And so like that was the least of your issues of the werewolf thing. But that was a major plot of the movie. It wasn't great. It's not going to win any awards. No. Would I recommend it? It was so quirky. I probably wouldn't, because it was one of those movies where it's like, yeah, if you don't like quirky movies, that if you never watched a real B movie before and came out of it and like, ha, that was a good movie, and understand when you say good movie, you meant like that's a B movie, good movie, and not like a good movie. And like, if you don't understand those differences, then you're gonna come out there and be like, that movie sucked. I'm like, I don't want to explain to you how wrong you are, but I understand where you're coming from. Like, so I'm not gonna recommend a movie like that. But it wasn't the worst thing I've seen.
Right.
But those are two great actors.
Yeah.
Well, so it's not.
Batista's a great actor.
You're funny.
Someone else just has a husband that keeps directing movies and he puts her in.
Now, this is not false. I'm not going to suggest that's why she's not in everything. Yeah. But like, she's not disgusting horrible. Yeah, I was about to say that. Fifth Element. She did Ultraviolet. She was like, in Resident Evils.
But she's never evolved past that acting. Anything else? So,
okay.
She was great in
I don't need all my actors to be super.
Yeah, no.
She does a great thing, right? Yeah. It's just like Kate Beckinsale. She does great things.
Yeah.
Like when she gets an action movie, she's a little crazy for real. She's crazy for real. Like I've seen her off script and on script. She's kind of crazy for real. Have you
seen Click with Adam Sandler? Because that was like, it's a movie Adam Sandler made called Click, and it's like a remote control to his life, and he's able to fast forward time and shit like that. Yeah. Kate Beckinsale was his wife in that movie, and I did not know that. I was like, why are you bringing that up right now? Upon seeing it, I was like, I just saw you fight a werewolf. You look totally different. And I was like, you don't look the same. And I was like, this is weird.
She doesn't. You put her in an action movie, that little crazy in her brain. And I didn't recognize it until I saw Total Recall. Because after I seen Total Recall, I'm like, why are you smiling so much? Like, what is going on?
That's what it is. You for real crazy.
Right. Because like Van Helsing, she was good. And like in all the Celine Underworld, she's good. But it's like, she's in the character, but I feel like in Total Recall, because she was just, I think it was in between one of the underworlds. So, and it was like, she was doing the film, but I feel like she was doing this off break. Like, I don't even know if they paid this woman. I think she just came on set. So it was
now, and it was like, oh shit.
And I feel like she was like that because she got to play the actual villain in that role then. And she's just like, yeah, this is what I like. I was like, okay. I need an adult. Like,
I'm a vampire with gun. Now I'm just a girl bitch with guns. I'm a regular bitch with guns. I ain't changing a bit for nobody.
You're going to put those extensions in my head and I'm going on my business.
And she just talked about it in the third person. It's good. Kate Beckinsale is amazing. Kate Beckinsale can never lose. Kate Beckinsale.
Kate gonna get you. You like what?
He's like, look, I know how to get in the character, but you tripped.
You are tripping.
Or nobody talk to Kate Beckinsale like that. Give me a real gun. I'm gonna fuck you up.
You're real good. I'm gonna shoot you for real. Yeah, fuck this bar scene. Who gives a fuck about that? But yeah,
Can't
so
I want to bite him. I'm gonna bite the shit out of him. Kate Beckinsale
I
gonna
think
bite.
I think there's so many varieties of things to watch. People want to make their thing the top dog and just say shit. Um, Not regardless if it's granted or not, but I feel like every movie can't be the greatest. Every
Mhm.
movie can't be complete trash. That's just not how things work. You
Yeah.
know, like I just we're getting to a bottleneck stage where you're like we had a whole season where people were like, these Marvel movies are garbage. I like that one, but I have to watch the other fucking movies.
Yeah.
And it's like, why did you call them garbage then? Like, it doesn't make any
If
sense.
you're compelled to watch them, it's obviously doing something right. And there's like so
Right. It's
there's like how are you overlooking that in your
it's,
statement of like in like your overall assessment of the content? And there's like
I
so if
just
you keep looking at this shit, what is it that they're doing right that makes you want to look at this shit? Because
right.
it can't just be for YouTube views. Because at the same time, you
Right.
could not look at this, someone tell you about the movie, and you still be just as dissatisfied with it. Because that's what the fuck I do. Because I don't watch the Marvels. And I was like, I'm not watching this shit. Look at it, it's terrible. And I was like,
And that's
this looks bad.
okay.
And it's like, I was like, I don't want to see this. And I was like, and it's a greater testament towards how bad Marvel has gotten to the fact where it's like, I know I cannot look at this and I'll be good looking at some Marvel shit that I want to see. Because I saw Thunderbolts. I wanted to see that.
Right.
And it's like that me not looking at the Marvels or looking at Miss Marvel's TV show or Echo show or anything like that didn't no harm. I was able to
Right.
watch Thunderbolts.
You
I
didn't have to
still like
watch Black Widow. You
did
didn't have
not
to
watch
watch,
anything.
like
And it was like I was
what
fine
else
because
they
it was
were
like
in.
it set up
Oh, she
everything.
was in that Hawkeye show. You didn't have to watch that.
Just, and then you had the Falcon
What
and Winter
else?
Soldier show because that was where the
Oh
other
yeah, you
great
didn't have to
America
watch
came from.
that.
Ant-Man 2,
And my
that's
thing
where
is,
Ghost was
and
from.
my yeah,
Yeah, so it's like all these, there's like they're from a whole bunch of other shit, but at the same time,
yeah,
it's like they explained the characters in the
they
fucking
did
movie.
enough.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
so
fine.
it's like
Right.
I'm good, and then at the same time, these motherfuckers ain't that interesting to begin with. The movie itself is just a rehash of the Avengers. It's just instead of an alien invasion, you just got Bob being a
Yeah.
motherfucker. So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's the same thing. So I'm good. And then the movie was what it was. I liked what I liked. I didn't like what I didn't like. And then I moved on.
Right.
But it's like I already know I don't need to look at the Marvels to try and connect this shit because it won't connect.
Yeah.
Because I've seen She-Hulk and then I saw Daredevil and then I went, how come it's not connected? Oh, because Disney was like, go fuck yourself. And it's
Right.
like, what happened with the Eternals? Go fuck yourself. And it was like,
Uh,
they only
and I
mentioned
don't.
the celestial being in the ocean in the Captain America movie. And this is
They did.
5 movies after you've done had this motherfucker sticking up out of the
And I
earth.
feel like the only reason they mentioned it because people were like, now wait a minute,
Minute,
what
yeah.
about that giant celestial? Like, so it angers me because like one, people are like, oh, the Eternals were awful, and I'm
Yeah.
like, we did not watch the same movie. We just didn't. Like, you can not like it for it not being something you wanted it to be, but you just can't be like this movie about these beings that were here forever. They had disagreements. Um, they had betrayal. Then turns out they were actually just robots from another celestial being. And the celestial being was like, no, bro. We were always planning on like this being an egg baby planet because there are people here. That is the purpose of the egg baby. And it was like, oh no. And it's like, yeah, Thanos gave you a couple years because it was enough people on here. Now it's enough people, the egg's gonna get born. It's not that complicated. This was happening. And they're like, I'm gonna stop you. And it's like, nigga, that's not where I made you for. And it's like, and then it's not super complicated. And people are very much like, wait a minute, but
See,
I and it's like I
because of
don't
what the Eternals did, because of the fact that it was like, all right, these motherfuckers have been running around, but where were they during all of these tragedies? There's
they
like
didn't
all
want to
of this,
bother with you niggas.
but it's like,
And
all right,
it's,
it's like you want to make that a get out of jail free card, but then it's like, but you're also dealing with some shit to where it's like, hey, ain't no one sensor pop off that was like, hey, I'm sensing some intergalactic space shit happening here. This smells like some egg planet shit. It was like because that should normally happen because we know about this because of the fucking nowhere place from Guardians of the Galaxy. It was like that was a dead
yeah,
celestial. So it's
That
like,
was
all
against
right,
the list.
so
But again, like they do this again. You're bringing up a perfect example. They do this all the time.
yeah,
Like everything everyone has that little argument about like the New York problem, where it's just like it's too many of you niggas to be here for y'all be in danger.
yeah,
Spider-Man shouldn't be in danger. Iron Man shouldn't be in danger. All the people from that we talked about, the Jessica Jones, the Iron Fist,
yeah.
all of you guys should not be in danger because you guys are literally blocks away from each other. But it happens. It happens in the comics. It happens in the movies. Like they act like, man, the world is about to die. I have to save it. You talking about you can't call them down the street? If you can't call down the street to get help, that's crazy to me. But like, so they've always faced these issues. This was great. You guys watch movies. So when we do reviews, you know what we're talking about. And
Or you just
and
listen to the sultry voice. It's okay. I
or
mean, you know,
that's it. That's all you got to do
yeah.
sometimes, you know. So I'm heading out.
Yeah.
I have too much stuff to do, and I have to go to sleep. So like, uh, we will see you next week.
Yep. Same time, same place.
Same time, same place. All right.
If Kevin decides to come, that's
we're not doing it without him, and I'm so serious about that.
Bring your ass.
He has no choice.
But all right, man.